momentarily, or maybe now. Now.
Maybe now.
Welcome, everybody, to our little adventure story with monsters of the week and an overwhelming sense of horror and doom as our group has entirely forgotten to try to solve the terrible mystery that is at place because we keep getting distracted by things like dates, which happened on Saturday. There was
that distraction was worth it. Okay, I had a great time.
I got a kiss on the cheek. So eat y'all's heart out. In a velveteen suit.
Vanessa got a good tip. So did Devin. And the gremlin got lots and lots of munchies. And you guys solved a very, very pressing professional issue that was happening.
The oven did not get fixed, but the real oven fixing was the friends we made along the way.
True.
Also, the other oven was Lady Hawk cooking up 10 months in a row. Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's rad.
Yeah, no, we love to see it. By the way, if you are ever paying attention to the show and you're like, hey, this would be really cool, feel free to message us because we like hearing what you guys think. Elle is busy dealing with lots of new art ideas for the new store. DM and the rest of us are busy cooking up new storylines and episodes. So if you have pressing ideas, we are all ears.
Very fan-forward stream here. It's the benefits of us. We're a family business at Uncanny Pros.
You can comment during the stream, or you can find, I don't know, probably me, because I am on all of the platforms. Chloe Liz 05. Find me on any of the social medias, and I will make sure whoever needs your message gets your message.
And you can do more than just comment. You can actually affect the outcome of the game.
That's true. And those commands should be working this week. And I think that's about it, honestly. Without further ado, DM, would you like to take us away? And yes, Lady Hawk, my gremlin voice was spot on. I was very happy with that. We need to get a subtitled version of that episode where we actually hear what he was saying, because it was actually something along the lines of, you guys are way too young to be dating, like what are you even doing, like really? And this
He's a little mini mind.
Anyway,
Thomas is 25-ish, we think.
Well, the gremlin's probably hundreds of years old, so he's like, meh.
Yeah, we assume. All right, so as we begin on a Tuesday at the turn of the seasons, life has a way of stubbornly staying normal even as these horrible incidents interrupt it. Incidents that you try to be ready for, even though try as you might, you can never get it quite perfectly. But you know, the feeling that you're all that stands between who knows what and who knows what kind of casts a sickly pall over a winter that was already pretty dark and cold to begin with. But the sun's out, the weather is turning. It's a little bit drier than usual for this time of year in Washington, less rain, less fog, at least for the last week or so. And we are plummeting headlong, for the girls at least, into the final month before finals month, the last substantive month of instruction before you come up against the exams for this last round of tests. And Edith, this is particularly big for you because if everything goes well, fingers crossed, it's possible that you can affect your graduation and get moving on to the next step, something that is already coming a year later than you'd like. So you wanted to get it over with.
Not possible, and no fingers crossed. I have everything down. I have talked to all of my professors. I have scheduled in extra credit for every single class in case I accidentally nap through something, because that is a real possibility. But not likely, but it is a possibility. So I'm planning for it.
The amount of breaths that Edith took while explaining her situation indicates the high level of pressure that she's put herself under. Considerable stakes an end to super senior status and graduation to adulthood, quote unquote, and beyond. But as she drills down and focuses, and as Rose joins her because she's got her stuff together, and as Mike and Thomas sort of do what Mike and Thomas do, we check in with
Fight Club! Fight Club!
we don't talk about that. You just go breaking the rule within 5 minutes of the stream. We check in with the eponymous Ruari Flynn, if that is his real name, and we're not sure it is, and ask him what he's getting up to. He has classes he audits that he's not even really technically a part of. His enrollment would not hold up to more than a cursory glance by any university official. It's sufficient to get him access places, but he knows better and probably doesn't even feel like rocking the boat. What are you up to as this as spring takes over from winter and your friends, or at least your erstwhile companions, find themselves all more or less occupied?
What time of day are we in?
We're gonna go ahead and call this a nice, crisp, and sunny 3:30 p.m.
3:30 p.m. No classes going on that I'd be auditing.
Unless you wanted to be. Rose and Edith are in class. If you want to be there, you can be there.
No, we're fine. Ruari has certainly taken to the local coffee hangouts, despite one very unfortunate incident with a group of zombie bikers, and is probably looking to get his daily caffeine fix.
Right on. What is he ordering?
So, all right, the last time I came here, they told me it didn't work like this. But all of the ones that ain't brown, all of the different colorful ones, just put them in a cup, swirl it all together, and I'll take that.
Like, okay, but would you want some, like, coffee in that at all? Or is this just, like, syrup and tea?
Whatever the fast stuff is, I'll take some of that too.
Okay, coming right up, sir. Can I get you something to eat? We have a special today, 2-for-1 pastries and 3-for-2 cookies and $2 off of our breakfast sandwiches. Now, that's not really breakfast time anymore, but you can get them if you want.
Now, I'm going to need you to listen very closely to me, because I'm going to need you to understand me clearly when I ask this.
Okay.
Is a cookie not a pastry?
I'm 19 years old and I make minimum wage, dude. I don't know. I don't care.
All right. Well, whatever you got then, I suppose I'll take a cookie.
Okay, I'll get you a cookie. And there you go. We'll get this bizarre drink mixed up for you. Go ahead and find a table and take this number, lucky number 7, and I'll go ahead and like bring everything out to you and it's ready and stuff.
Lucky. And he will go and take a seat where he can look out the window.
All right. It is not long before whatever it is you're drinking is delivered to you in all of its colossally saccharine monstrous liquid form, and a nice tasting chocolate chip cookie. They're freshly baked, almost certainly not by this place, but whoever does a good job, and you settle in and it's pleasant. Roll sharp.
Ooh, roll sharp already. Okay, all right, we're getting right down to business. That would be a 6.
Okay. You notice the energy in the room sort of changes. Like, it's a normal bustling coffee shop pretty close to campus. In fact, just like a couple of blocks off of campus. But where everyone goes from chatting about various and sundry and just being comfortable and, low-key vibe, the tension in the room suddenly ratchets up, and people start looking around and looking towards the door and whispering to each other. And very, very conspicuously, the employees behind the counter like vacate, just leave for the back.
I am going to. First of all, are there no employees in the front of house then?
Not anymore.
I think Rory's going to stay a bit cautious, but firstly, step back behind the counter and refill his drink.
Fair enough. Roll for cool.
All right. That one's an 8.
So you get your drink refilled as best as you know how to make it, and as you come out, you notice what everybody's sort of cocking at, and that is 3 police cars have pulled up to the front of the coffee shop, sirens on, and are preparing to enter the shop in force. And you distinctly see a gentleman in a suit talking to about 6 uniform officers, look into the store, start, and then point right at you.
I'm going to quickly move to the bathroom.
You have to roll again. Roll for cool.
All right, let's go. Okay. That one is 10 total.
Okay. You smoothly make your exit to the bathroom. To your surprise, even though you wouldn't really know standard law enforcement procedure, but you do know your tactics and your strategy, your obvious move to retreat does not trigger them storming the store, and it really should have. You are allowed to go off and get to the bathroom without being hindered. What do you do there?
Now, I want to be clear. I'm not looking for an exit, but is there a window where one theoretically could make an exit? Is there a vent?
I mean, yeah, there's the minimum necessary vent.
All right. I am going to just try and pop that open, and then I'm going to transform into this employee-looking person.
Okay. Go for it. Go for it. You're going to have to roll weird.
All right. You got it. Not my best work. 7.
Okay. One moment. Okay. You transform. And go ahead and roll for sharp.
2.
All right. You have a little bit more trouble than you usually do getting transformed. You know, it's a process of sort of like sculpting your form from memory, and some memories of some forms are a little bit more sharp and more clear than others.
I should have paid more attention to these lousy kids.
Yeah, and I mean, the turnover here is really high, so who can blame you? But not really a great excuse in your current situation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But when you're done, you just kind of check yourself, and if you take the time, take a moment, and decide to check your phone, maybe see if you can get a text message out, you see that you have 7 missed calls from Thomas that you did not notice over the last 20 minutes.
Any messages?
No.
Okay. Going to send a message back real quick and be like, lol, cops come get me. Winky face, sad face. I'm in trouble.
Okay, what do you do now?
I'm going to turn my phone off. And I am going to hide that inside of around the back of the toilet.
Savvy.
And I am going to step out, kind of adjusting my fly.
Okay. You step out to the officers sort of presiding over this coffee shop in full metal jacket. That is, weapons drawn, if not necessarily at the ready, as the gentleman in the suit is interrogating the heck out of what you'd imagine is a manager, because he's better dressed than the rest of his employees, who are apparently nowhere to be found. But everybody is extremely nervous. It is a tense situation. This is pretty serious. You can tell that at a glance. No extra special deduction required.
Okay, sounds good. I am going to kind of wander out the front of the building, just like kind of moving towards the direction like other civilians talking to these cops are, but away from the manager.
You make it about halfway to the door when the man ostensibly in charge catches sight of you and says, "Oh, hey, you there. Wait a second. I just got a couple of questions."
I put a thumbs up and walk directly towards him, hopefully before this person also attracts the manager's attention.
Hey, how are you? Listen, I'm looking for somebody who I know for a fact was just in here. And I think you might have made this gentleman's beverage, maybe even the last beverage you made before we had to come on in here. And just wanted to ask you where you think that individual might have gone.
Oh my god, like, are you talking about that real weirdo who got like the candy drink?
Totally weird. I have no idea about his drink taste, but some kind of weirdo, yeah.
Yeah, no, actually, I think that he was in the bathroom in the other stall from me, like right over there.
The bathroom. Hiding out in the bathroom. Well, what else would you expect? A criminal with a bunch of forged documents, right? All right, listen, I'm gonna go bust this guy, but I'm probably gonna need to ask some questions, right? Maybe have you fill out a report. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get you one of my business cards here. All right.
Thank you.
All right, here. Come over here so I can take down a couple notes real quick, and I'll get that going. Hey, by the way, and he wraps his arm around you, just nice and friendly, and just whispers very subtly in your ear. If you're going to craft a glamour like that, you're going to have to be just a little bit more subtle. And you are hit in the stomach as hard as you have been hit this cycle and possibly for centuries. It is just an inhumanly powerful blow. And before you know it, you are swarmed with gentlemen in blue. He saw right through you, and it is but a hop, skip, and a jump before you are cuffed in the back of a cop car. And you are joined by a driver, and the suited man gets in the front seat.
Oh,
Change back.
okay. All right. Well, I mean, you can't forgive a fellow for trying. I'm not used to the boys in blue knowing this sort of game. I'm used to playing a different game than they are.
I know. And no, I don't blame you for trying. It's just not going to work on me. Listen, this is about to go a certain way, and I know that you're a certain way. And I'm just gonna show you something real quick, okay? To maybe ensure that you behave and allow this to go down its natural course. All right? Yeah. Show them off. Bring them out. Why don't you go ahead and turn around and look behind you a little bit?
All right.
So 2 more officers haul Thomas out of the back of another car. He's not even cuffed. He doesn't have to be. He is out cold and has had the hell knocked out of him. Bleeding from his forehead by his hairline, both of his eyes swollen shut, multiple cuts on his lips, a clearly broken nose. That's really all you can observe before they throw him bodily back into the back of the cruiser they pulled him out of.
Hey, what are you doing with him? What'd you do to the fella?
You know,
What?
I was just going to use him to get some information about you, but it turns out I can use him for a whole lot more. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take you down to the station. I'm going to ask you some questions. You're going to give me some honest answers, and we're going to finally move this process forward. Do you understand me?
I understand you, but who the hell are you? Are you even pigs?
Well, they are.
Okay.
And I suppose I am technically.
All right. Paperwork status, fine. I got some paperwork too. I suppose we'll deal with it there.
Yes, we will. Oh, we will. They drive you very, very quickly to the nearest station, and they use the campus security police station, the fastest, closest place they are able to pull up in. They process you oddly quickly and oddly slapdashedly. It is not long before you are deposited along with Thomas crumpled in a heap, unconscious in the corner, and the only room for questioning that this particular station has. And the gentleman joins you shortly thereafter and locks the door behind him.
Am I like cuffed to the table behind my back? What's my situation?
Not at
Okay.
all.
Hands free?
He lets you out when he steered you in.
Okay. Have my effects been confiscated?
He didn't do anything other than hit you very, very hard, truss you up, transport you, and put you in this room.
Okay, so like general backpack that I'd likely have with me with my book would
He wouldn't have kept that away from you. He didn't care. You got everything on you.
Okay. You know, believe it or not, and I know you're going to have a hard time believing this, it's not actually my first time in lineup, and as much as I find the circumstances and you having my pal over there a bit unpleasant, this has got to be the most efficient that you lads have ever handled one of these.
Of course it is. They didn't handle anything. They just followed orders. And I know it's not your first time, Ruari. Very little is at this point, is it?
Yeah, no, you got me. But I'm afraid I'm at a disadvantage. Maybe if we're going to be shooting straight with each other, I can work both ways, eh?
See, that's the one part of this situation that I don't enjoy. I don't enjoy that in order to continue doing what I do, in order to maintain my vigil, this has to keep changing because no one like you ever recognizes me when I finally make my move, when we finally stand face to face. I would kill a lot more than just the individuals in this room to see the look on your face if you could see me as I really am.
Well, then why don't you give it a shot with words, then?
I'll do the best I can. But first, I found a convenient new costume, and I didn't even intend to.
Go on.
He walks around the table, walks to the corner of the room, pokes Thomas with his toe. You know, very rarely in my line of work do I encounter someone so empty and so strong. And you see, when he realized what I am and what I can do, you know what he did? He didn't try to run. He hid to warn you. 20, 30 seconds. I know he failed because I saw the phone in his hand and I saw the disappointment in his face. And then I broke him. And I tell you, I got that last delicious hit of misery as he realized exactly what was going to happen to him. Would you like to see?
You don't want to know what I'd like to see.
You know what I would like to see, Ruari Flynn?
Shoot.
And he leans down and puts his hand on the side of Thomas's head, almost like he's stroking his hair. And he looks up at you, and you see that his eyes have gone totally black. You see, Mr. Flynn, I know you by a different name. I know you by a lot of different names. Because when you took everything from me, Mr. Flynn, when you killed her all those centuries ago, you stole from me my purpose to protect my sister, my purpose to protect my village from you, snake, leviathan, beast. And when you set my life on fire, I called a prayer to the heavens. And when I did, the sister in black answered me and gave me a gift. And then he collapses, crumples to the ground in a heap. And Thomas stands up. His wounds begin to rapidly heal, and his eyes are black. You see, Mr. Flynn, what you stole from me 1,000 years ago and then was my purpose. And I have watched you through the ages, hunted you, watched your power cleft from you bit by bit, strip by strip, until you stand before me now, little more than a man, with your full magnificence stuck in a coin, somewhere with a girl who is not going to be able to keep it from me. And wouldn't you know what I found? You palling around with a vessel, an empty husk of meat, strong enough to kill you. So go get your book, Ruari Flynn. Go get your book and die like the man you've become.
Rory will indeed reach into his bag, try to pull it out, and dive over the table, turning to an appropriate page.
Roll tough.
Okay. I need to look at different parts of the sheet. Okay.
No.
Okay, that is an 8.
All right. You sort of have to roll over the table, and you hit it heavily and knock it over and land roughly. It sort of wins you. Enough to knock enough breath out of you, so you're going to have a hard time speaking. But it also sort of turns the table over along with you. You've got it between him and you, and he just laughs. And it is Thomas's voice, but it sounds nothing like him. This is there is a savage, brutal tone to it you have never heard out of him before.
Listen to me. Whatever you think you're doing, whatever you think you're listening to, that ain't from your Jesus or whoever else you think it is. Sister in black, whose sister you think you're talking to, mate?
I don't care. All I care about is justice, damages, an eye for an eye, a balancing of the scales. Here I am, Ruari. Here I am, Beast. Here I am, Leviathan. Through the ages, you're past in the flesh, and you are going to pay.
All right, I am going to... I mean, he's angry. First thing he is going to try and do, much as he would prefer not to hurt Thomas, is go on offense. He's going to try and collapse some roof on top of him.
Go for it, man. Roll weird.
Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You cast your spell. It hits the roof with a thunder crack that seems to rattle the entire building. And a massive chunk of roof just comes out and comes right down on Thomas, or it would have had it not bounced off of him like raindrops off of an umbrella. And he doesn't even twitch, just kind of looks and says, oh, I'm going to have fun with this one.
Oh, shite.
I'll tell you what, because I want you to feel hopeless like I did when you watch your fate coming for you. Give me your best shot. One more. Go for it.
I'm going to stand up and take the bag onto my back and take a look in Thomas's eyes. Take a deep breath and quickly turn into a dove.
Roll weird.
6, 7, 9.
You transform quickly. It's as quickly and as smoothly as you have ever managed. But he is inhumanly fast and is on you before you can even process he's moved, and is about to grab you in a new, much more fragile and vulnerable form when two officers storm the room, clearly having heard the commotion.
Did I
Gawking.
take out the camera when I took out the ceiling?
You did not.
Okay. All right. Well, this is weirder for them.
He is distracted momentarily as they run up, and this thing wearing Thomas dispatches them. The first one arrives, and he just turns his head all the way around with a sickening crack. The other one tries to stop, his feet, his leather shoes sliding on the tile floor, and runs right into the fist of fate, which comes right out the back of him in an explosion of gore. This gives you enough time to start flying towards the opening in the ceiling, but he watches you with black eyes the whole way, laughs, and calls after you. Do you think she'll be able to protect herself from me?
I don't have vocal cords to respond. I tweet so furiously.
Chirp, chirp, chirp. Are you out of there?
Yes. I don't want to be going home, but I'm going to need to get them out of there if I'm going to have any chance against this, and maybe I care if they do too.
All right, where do you go?
Home.
Okay.
Has it been enough time that they should be off classes?
Oh, they're there.
Okay.
Come on in.
Okay. Get out down into an alley, become myself again, scrape off, and go through the door. No. Rose.
Huh?
Hi. Did you steal coffee again? You've got to stop. You've got to stop doing that. I gave you the cards.
Wait, no. Well, no, I mean, yes, but no, that's completely irrelevant.
Ruari, what is it?
Shut up, Rose. Oh, yeah, they got Thomas.
Who's
Who
got
has
Thomas?
I don't.
Okay.
Someone bad. I'm not completely sure. But they got control of him. They're in him. They're in him like a parasite.
Oh.
Thomas is possessed?
Oi,
Where is he? We got to help him right now. Somebody. And
no,
she'll
we
like
can't
start looking for her phone to call Mike.
Rose?
Okay, don't call him. Whatever you do, they got his phone. Listen, what we gotta do for our sake and for the lovely young woman in the walls, we need to get out of here right now, because this is the first place to look, and we gotta get Mike out of his place too.
Okay.
Okay.
Where we? Okay. Easy. Mike. We'll call Mike. Rose, get an Uber. Should we tell the lady across the street to get out too?
Both of your phones just buzz in unison.
And it is
Campus police station attacked. Multiple fatalities estimated. Students are to lock down and stay there.
They got camera of me over there too, looking like this. I tried to fool them. Saw right through it. It wasn't a cop. It was this thing.
Okay, well, we need to tell Mike now because someone has to go help Thomas.
No one's going near Thomas right now. Can't you hear me, Rose? It's not normal. It ain't like the succubus. It's something else. It's really Thomas, as strong as Thomas. And I tried to bring him down best I could, gave him my best shot, dropped a building on him, and it didn't work.
Okay. Well, I've texted Mike. I said,
What are we doing bloody texting? Call the bastard.
"What? He can fight." You were talking.
I don't have a phone.
Mike? Hi. So apparently Thomas is possessed, and the
But-
campus police is looking for multiple fatalities, or I don't know. I think they think it's Rory. Rory's terrified of whatever has Thomas, and we need to leave, apparently. So I vote the graveyard. That's perfect, right? We'll meet you at the graveyard. How's that?
I'll be there in a few minutes. I'm actually in the area. I'll be there in a few minutes.
Great.
Just hang on. Don't leave the house yet.
No. We're gonna leave the house so that they don't blow up the house.
Okay, which way are you gonna go?
We're going to the graveyard,
I'll,
right,
I'll,
guys? There's no right
wait,
people at the graveyard.
Right, graveyard.
We're going to the graveyard.
I'll try to meet you along the way.
Okay. Bye.
Edith, Rose, and Rory, roll sharp.
Oh, good roll for this. 8.
Okay, 10.
Oh dear. 6.
6.
Edith is tired.
So you guys start bustling, and at first it's like that. For like 20 seconds, it's that like aimless energy, like I gotta do something. What am I gonna do? I'm having a hard time reacting to the crisis. And as you do, you just sort of naturally position yourselves throughout the room.
You don't leave the
Edith,
house.
You're close to the door. You're getting ready to leave the house, but you talked for about 5 minutes. And as you position yourself by the door, it explodes inward in a dreadful, hideous cracking sound of wood splintering. And an arm surges through the shrapnel, grabs you by the neck, and pulls you close. Oh, yes, you, Edith.
Great.
In a rock solid iron grip. It feels like you are being wrapped around the shoulders in rebar. And you hear Thomas's voice by your ear. Hello, can Edith come out to play?
I don't think you're gonna give me a choice.
Hey, that's what throws the bloody coin.
What?
Poof! I don't know. I think I have to roll for that.
What are you doing?
I'm tossing Rose the coin.
Roll cool.
This is so bad.
Wow. Hold on. Do I have any help with this? Nope. Okay. Cool. Oh, that was a 6 again. No.
You throw it, and it gets less than 6 inches out of your hand before his hand, faster than you can see, snatches it right out of the air. And you feel his form vibrate and flex as he clamps his hand around it and lets out a low chuckle, grabs you by the back of the neck, and slowly turns your face towards his. His eyes are black as pitch. His skin is beginning to spiderweb and crack like glass. You've seen the effect before on his arm on the island. Now, be a good girl and take the leash off, or I'll break your scrawny neck.
Rory? What does he mean?
Go ahead, Rose.
I'd like to try a thing, because if
Go
this is
for it.
even a little bit Thomas, maybe I can help.
Go ahead.
Um,
Go ahead and try a thing.
I don't know if it'll apply, so you can tell me. I want to use I am theirs and they are mine. I would like to basically, I hate saying this, I'd like to abuse the bond between Thomas and I to make him let go of her.
Okay, what's the consequence? It's a consequence, right? There's a
Yes, there
consequence
are.
for doing so?
Let's see. I have to roll for bond abuse. Oh my god, we've never done this because she never would.
I know.
Okay. I roll charm,
Mhm.
which I have. I'm good at that, right? Never say that before you roll a dice. Okay. Okay, so you get to choose. Oh no, I get to choose a bond abuse option because I did
Mhm.
not roll high enough for nothing to happen. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I said this and then I hadn't read all of these.
I'm holding you to it.
Okay. I will choose someone who shouldn't know finds a clue about your relationship with your guide, which is Thomas.
Ooh. Let me think for just 1 second. Edith, you feel the grip tense, but not in a way that it's squeezing you. It's like he's spasming almost. And he looks at you, and then he looks at Rose and starts breathing heavily in and out of his nose.
That's right. You don't want to do this, Thomas.
Please let her go.
Get her out of here.
I'll take care of her. I will take care of her, but you have to let me go. And you have to drop the coin.
And you feel his grip on your neck start to loosen. And Thomas's groan of exertion starts escalating into a full-on pained scream. But you're free.
And the coin?
Oh, he's holding that with a death grip fist. There's something going on inside.
Okay, bloody run!
What do you do, Edith?
Come on.
Bloody run!
Okay. I'm actually we're gonna try this. I'm just gonna put my hand on his fist and be like, just let it go. Thomas, I can't protect her without this. Rose will die if you do not give me this right now.
Roll weird.
Got any luck or anything?
Roll weird.
4, 5, 6. Actually, I do have a luck point. I would like to spend a luck point to make him give me that coin. I have 1 luck point.
Okay, mark it. A thunder crack echoes throughout the apartment, and Thomas's body seizes, and both of his hands open, and the coin tumbles, and he shrinks into himself.
And I rush backwards.
Run!
And then he stands up and looks up and says, "If you want him, you're going to come take him, but I'm not done with him yet." And turns his attention back to the three of you. What are you doing?
Out the back door, guys.
Yeah,
Out the back door.
Running.
Kate, lock everything.
Everybody roll tough.
That's the worst one.
I think that Bill should be here in a minute.
He should be pulling up right about now, actually. So go ahead and bring it back.
If he didn't do what we wanted, which sounds very Mike.
What are you doing, Mike?
Well, I drove, figuring I was on my way to, toward their house, drove from the graveyard to their house, hadn't seen them come up yet. So now I see Thomas's fist through the front door. Is that right?
You would have seen
the door
if you'd have-
splintered.
Yeah, if you'd see him, the door splintered, and you'd see him in the entranceway beginning to stalk forward probably as you got out of your vehicle.
I don't have any time for this. I'm going to run, try to shoot him in the knees from behind.
Roll for it.
You already told me he's possessed, so.
Yeah, that's true. I did.
Roll for it.
So that's a total of 8.
Okay. Total of 8. I'll play this.
I
All
don't
right.
like it.
So
I know heals.
you're a good shot, and you tag him twice behind his right knee, and he stumbles and slows down, and then stands up, flexes his leg, and both bullets in their misshapen glory clatter to the ground, and he looks back, looks at you, bends over, picks them up, and hurls them at you. Roll tough again.
Oh. Total of 9 that time.
So they hit you. They hit you. They don't hit you hard enough to debilitate or do dramatic harm, but you take 1 harm. They hit hard enough to break the skin and knock the breath out of you and knock you backward, just off of arm strength alone. And he just points at you and continues to stalk back into the house.
Thomas, you don't want to do this.
Thomas can't come to the phone right now, Mike.
Oh, I have a thing too. I'll let you do yours first when it's ours.
Go ahead. Would
Me?
you respond or no? It's still Mike's turn.
Okay.
I'm going to try to leave no one behind. Help. Can I tell which one's closest to Thomas, the possessed Thomas?
It's Edith.
I'm trying to get Edith out. Try to get Edith out. Yeesh.
Okay.
So 7. So sharp. That's a total of 8.
Tell me the move.
Leave no one behind. I help someone escape. On a 7 to 9, I either get them out or suffer no harm. I'll get Edith out.
Okay. You sort of try to get around him and signal for Edith to come, and she trusts you. She surges forward, and you grab her and spin her around to put her between you and Thomas. And you get her. You shove her through the open doorway, just in time to feel that iron vice grip around the back of your shirt.
No.
And he whispers to you, he says,
God, we probably can't even see.
I'll let your friend go, but the king dies. And then he hurls you bodily into the wall of the house hard. Take another harm. You dent it.
He's wearing a soft body armor, so he hasn't taken any harm yet.
You're good.
Who's the king? You going after Elvis? What are you talking about?
Give me the coin back, Edith.
Okay,
I only need to borrow it for a minute.
Okay, so if we are running, as soon as we get out of the back door, I'm going to say, I can't believe I'm bloody doing this. Get on. And then I'm going to transform into a horse.
Delightful, but can't enjoy it because we're gonna die.
Weird.
I feel like that needs to be the sticker. Delightful, but I can't enjoy it.
It's on the
Oh,
list.
weird.
All right. Oh my God, perfect time. That was as well as I can possibly roll on any given thing. That is a 15.
You transform into a majestic steed. Immaculately appointed, glistening. This horse could serve as a unicorn in a live action movie about unicorns. All that's missing is the horn.
Okay.
Specimen of a horse.
I have a glorious red Arabian steed.
Yes, just a unit of an Arabian steed.
And I will attempt to hop fences and crap.
Is with Rose on your back?
Yep.
Hold on. Pull my mane if you have to.
Wait,
The
am I
horse
the
is
only
talking
one
to you.
Ruari?
Yes, because Mike
Oh my
pulled
God.
me into the front yard, and now you guys are in the
I'm
back.
following. Oh my God, well, that's even more exciting, but also terrible timing. She'll just hold on as tight as she can.
Okay.
Has Rose
This
ever
is
ridden
well
a horse?
within your
Definitely in
abilities. This is well within your abilities as super steed, but Rose, I'm gonna have you roll cool.
Yeah.
This
Hold
is
on
where
tight.
it all goes wrong.
She's gonna fall off in the first fence.
Uh-huh. No, I'm not. 13.
You hang on. You hang on just fine. And back to Thomas and Edith as Rose and Ruari are in flight. The Thomas thing turns to look at them leave and just snarls, and then seems to disregard and looks over to you, Mike. You're still trying to shake off the fact that you just got tossed. You're not badly hurt, but you're shook. And he just points at you and says, "Stay down. My fight's not with you." And turns to look at Edith in the front door. "Give me the coin back."
Michael steps in front of her. "Why do you want this coin?"
"I need it to kill him."
"To kill whom?"
"The gentleman who just left and left you between me and what I want."
"He's not a gentleman."
"No, very much
That's
not."
the comeback.
Give me-
Damn, Mike. Rory could die today, and that would be the last thing you said about him.
Give me the coin. My fight is not with either one of you, but I will tear you to shreds to get it.
Okay, so I don't actually think I stayed here in the front yard. I think I ran around towards the bike. I'm not staying there for him to yell at me. He's not my dad. No!
Roll
He's
tough.
very rude, and Mike has a gun and the smarts to
Roll
run.
tough.
Mike's the
my
only one I'd
freaking
leave behind in
God!
the fight because I think he could handle it.
5! These dice, I would put them in dice jail, but I don't have any others.
You try to make a break for it, but he moves so much faster than you or any human really should be able to, and gets himself in front of you and just cuts you right off.
Is he
And-
still on the porch?
He's now in front of you wherever you are.
Okay, well, I'm right in front of the porch if
Yep.
he's blocking me. So,
Yep. He just holds out his hand, and now his voice is quiet. "Last chance. Hand it over. Live. Don't die."
What
you can
is-
try to kill me, but so far that has not worked to anybody. And I'm just going to whisper to the coin. I don't know how this stupid thing works, but I'm going to whisper to the coin and be like, "Rory, if you can hear me, you can break all the rules. None of the rules apply. Do whatever you need to do." I don't know. I don't know how this works. I don't know if you can even hear me.
That's what you say?
Yeah.
Back to Rory and Rose.
Mm-hmm.
You are running away, Rory, feeling whatever mix of fear and anxiety you feel, when all of a sudden you feel a surge of strength and power, like you have been plugged into a light socket. At first, it stops you moving. You ground to a halt and are almost shaking, almost quivering with the waves and waves of resurgent strength that are coming into you. It is crashing over you in such colossal, incoherent form that you almost can't grab a hold of it as it swirls you up. But you can tell exactly what is happening. Your old strength is rushing into you in waves, in bursts, and it's not stopping.
One thing that I do want to make clear, if what I am thinking is happening, I believe that upon doing that, one of a number of things should happen to Edith.
Uh-oh. Great. Yay.
Potentially
That's fine.
paying in blood by taking 2 harm, destroying something valuable, or taking -1 ongoing for a minute, or concentrating. I do not believe that is an option.
Probably not.
Back to you, Edith. The coin immediately begins to grow hot, and then hotter, and then burning, and then pulsing as if electricity is shooting through it, and your hand makes a fist as your muscles tense, and you can't let it go, even as it burns and eats its way into your flesh. And it is hideously painful, and you take 2 harm.
Okay, but I also read Tamlin, so I know you don't let go of these things.
You couldn't if you wanted to. As you're watching this happen, Mike, do you do anything?
Yes, I'm trying to just slow things down a little bit and say, listen, I don't know what your dispute is with Rory, but maybe if you explain it to us, maybe we'll be on your side.
No,
What?
we're not on his side, Mike.
I kind of look at Edith and try to angle away so this Thomas possession thing can't see me. Just give her a wink.
A life for a life, Mike Connor. A life for a life.
Tell me what life we're talking about. I met Rory a few weeks ago.
I met him a lot longer ago than that.
I think I have a pretty good idea what you're talking about, but I don't know. He's pretty mysterious. Give me some context.
Back in the day, Mr. Ruari Flynn went by a different name, and he looked considerably different too. And he insinuated himself into my community, my loved ones, my companions, my quirky little friends. My job, my purpose, my reason for being was to protect them, to protect my people. And when one of them trusted him, and counted on him to take care of her, to do the right thing, he not only failed her, he burnt her alive. And for that, I have chased him through the centuries, and today he dies. I'm sorry I have to wear your friend to do it.
I don't think she can let go of that coin right now.
She's done what I needed her to do. You see, Miss Edith, as long as he's a fraction of himself, he's functionally immortal. The more of him you let back into him, the more of him I take with me when I kill him. This is on you. Front row seats to the show. I'm going to go get my prize.
Why do you need the body of our friend to take him down?
I don't think he has a body, powerful. Mike.
This vessel is spectacularly powerful. Strength, speed, no inconvenient things like memories, bonds, ties, and coincidentally, one of the few weapons on this earth I would trust to take into a fight with that. I stalked, I watched. I almost made my move back in the 20s, but no, a Tommy gun and a switchblade wasn't enough. Not for that. I almost made my move again in the 50s, but no. I had only TNT on me, improvised flamethrower, and he would just come back. He grows back like a fungus. Every time I creep close, every time I assess his abilities or the abilities of the coin bearer, I came to the conclusion that I would come off the worst, but not this time, because this time he blundered his way into the company of this weapon, this glorious meat bag that can finally take that serpentine throat and crush it. I'm gonna go get him now. Do you want to watch?
How are you going to find him?
He's kind of making a lot of noise.
You can't feel it? You can't feel that in the air? That crackle, that electricity, that surge of magical energy. Mr. Connor, Rory Flynn is waking up. He's coming back to himself, or at least a big enough chunk of it where I can hurt him. And these people, oh, they're not ready for it. Right now, you should be on my side. If I don't put that thing in the dirt in time, who knows what sort of collateral damage might ensue. It's what he's known for.
Then why don't we take this somewhere outside of town? There's a lot of forest around here where you two can have your battle and no one else gets hurt.
Why would I want a fair fight?
I'm not even saying fair. Just make sure no civilians get killed. I thought this whole dispute started because he killed innocent people. Do you want to become just like him?
You have no idea what I've been through. You have no idea what I've survived. You have no idea how many bodies I've ridden through the centuries, the things I've had to do to even stay close to him.
And your girl, she would be happy about this?
Both of you roll cool. And roll cool. Mike, roll cool. Edith, roll charm.
I got a 12.
7.
One more night and this is over. Midnight. On the outskirts of town where the woods meet the beach, You're familiar with it. It's where you came back from the island. You bring him there. You stand him in front of me. And you make him take his medicine. If he's not there, I'll find you. If you're not there, I will start from one end of this city to the other wearing this glorious body. And anyone or anything in my way, I will level, I will liquefy, I will break until you emerge from the shadows and take what is coming to you. Am I clear?
Crystal.
Understand.
See you in 6 hours, y'all.
Start
And he just
texting
starts
Rose.
stalking off up the street.
Text
Back to
Rose.
Ruari and Rose. Rose, you can feel Ruari pulsing underneath you. It is like his very flesh is rippling. The temperature is getting hotter and hotter and hotter before you finally have to get off of him because it's starting to hurt.
Ruari?
I'm going to trot over to an alleyway somewhere that is not immediately perceivable, and I'm going to slowly move back into myself in a way where you could step off and just like grip the walls for a moment, just kind of be like working my jaw and look back at Rose for a moment, and I'm pretty sure that you would see the outlines of fire in my eyes.
Are you okay?
The crazy woman did it. I didn't think she ever would. I was beginning to think you would never come back. It doesn't last forever. Not when I'm like this. But they're not on me. The rules, they don't apply right now. I could do anything. I could hurt anyone.
Ruari? Edith needs your help.
She needs my help.
If she did whatever it is that happened, I mean, she really needs you.
Right. Her needs. Her rules. That's the only one she can't give up, isn't it? As long as she's got it. As long as she has it. That's the only one she couldn't get rid of if she wanted to. It's all about her. It's always all about her. It's all about them. All of their sticky, pink, little meaty greed. All their little plots and plans and all the ways that they can move themselves into things that are none of their business, that are so much bigger than they ever were. She needs me, Rose. Shall we go return then?
As long as that's what you want, but I've got to go back to her. It sounds like you have a choice.
Oh. It's been a long while since I had a choice. Fine. We're going back.
Thank you.
And he's just going to give like one quick punch to the wall, and any nearby shrubs or something would quickly light a flame.
Yeah, and you'd blow out like a grapefruit-sized dent in the wall.
Come on. And I will move back to the house.
Michael and Edith, have you waited, stayed put, or did you go looking for them?
I texted Rose, seeing if I get a hold of her. I want us to meet at the Haven.
Rose, you'd get that text.
She'd be like, okay. We were headed back to the house. Maybe wait for us there. And she
Yeah,
puts like a LOL and like a couple smiley faces. She seems very stressed out.
The Ruari strategy. I like it.
I dig it.
She's like,
Michael goes to one of the upper floors at a window trying to look for him.
And so is this coin like hermetically sealed into my skin now? Like, I'm assuming
You're gonna have a hard time. You can get it out, but it's gonna take stinky, smelly, burnt flesh with it.
Okay, well, we're just gonna leave it there because that is the thing that I'm gonna go get some ice or
Weird.
aloe vera.
Real weird.
8.
You don't have any luck anymore.
No, I don't.
Oh, that means you're under my control.
What? Huh? What?
When you try to apply ice
Uh-huh.
in a blast of steam, it just melts when it hits your palm.
Great.
And the coin itself, it's done its damage, but it is no longer hot to the touch.
So it's just like Indiana Jones style, like poop.
You have no idea. You just know that you can't ice it.
Okay. If I touch it, is it hot still?
No, it's cold.
Well, I am in excruciating pain, and
Yes, you
I'm
are.
going to go grab some alcohol from one of the cabinets and also an ibuprofen because I can't actually see straight. I have had burns on my body before, and imagining this is like,
Yeah, this would be a
Nope.
lot. This would be a lot worse than the ones you're thinking of.
Mhm.
Bad.
So I'm just gonna sit on the couch and wait for Mike to tell me that they're here.
Mike, roll sharp.
9.
She's hurt.
Oh, sorry, 8, 7.
She's hurt.
All right. Oh,
Like, you can tell when somebody's just like sore or minorly beat up, and when they're injured, the way the pain sort of changes their body language.
starting to go into shock.
Yeah.
All right.
Mike, this is my writing hand and it is my typing hand, and I am not going to be able to finish the essay that is due tomorrow.
Are her fingers still separated?
She's
It wasn't a
kind
big
of
coin. It's
stuck
like
she's kind of stuck like that.
yeah.
Not really in control of the digits.
Is just like mess up tendons? Is that what happened?
It heated
oh
up.
my god.
Or is it just like a magic like stiffness?
You
It's
will.
all bad.
I'm in pain, okay? It's just I don't want to move it. We're not going to touch it, but we're going to talk about someone writing my essay for me. I'm going to dictate it. That's fine.
Text
think-
to speech device.
Rory and Rose, you would arrive back around this time.
Rose
I'm-
rushes to Edith and she's like, oh my god.
I had some of the whiskey. It didn't help.
Listen, we got all kinds of issues right now. First of all, Rory, you should know midnight, you've got a fight scheduled with this thing that's possessing Thomas's body on the outskirts of town. It really wants to kill you. You care letting us in on why?
But first, I'm glad you're safe.
I look up at Edith and my jaw just kind of like hangs open for a second. You're glad I'm safe.
Yeah.
You're glad Would it surprise you to know, Edith, that I don't know how I feel about you being safe?
No, because I have been rude and I don't know what to do with you.
No, you don't.
Edith.
No, you bloody don't.
What?
Edith.
What?
You hear Cat.
Yeah.
Stay away from him.
Edith. Do you know what it's like? Do you know what it's bloody like to be like a god? To feel everything. To know that you can't be touched. That you are invulnerable. And in one moment, to have every last ounce of that taken away. To feel yourself pulled down. To watch yourself to be what she thought was nothing. Edith, I can't. You know what the silliest part is? I can't. Is I've actually liked you, and Rose, and Michael, and Tom. I haven't liked anyone in a long time. That's bloody novel. But who am I supposed to like, really? Because this whole time, all of it, it's all been a bloody delusion, hasn't it? Because you, all of you, you can be friends with me. You can care about what happens to me because you get to decide what happens. Because you get to say what goes. Because you ended up with a trinket where you don't know what's for. And I have to... I abide because that's how it works. And you know what? Do you know what, Eden? It's right that you should do that. It's the right decision that I should be in bondage. Because if I weren't, I'd probably killed you by now. Almost certain.
You're making it awfully hard for us to root for you in this fight tonight.
Mike.
I think I could kill him.
Edith, roll weird before you respond.
Ooh. Okay. That is a 9. Wait. 6 and 5. That's a 10.
You have never felt this before. You have no idea if it's because the coin is sort of semi in you now or if something has changed. But you feel almost like a line. It's almost like you're holding a fishing line directly into Ruari. And it is pulsing like it sounds like a power line. You know what I'm saying? That buzzing, that heady feeling as if you are gripping lightning itself in your hands. And for the first time, you have the realization that it might not just be a trinket. Might not just be a golden contract.
You want to know? What do you want to know, Mike?
Why does this man want to kill you? Why has he hunted you for centuries?
Oh. Because I massacred everyone he knew. Or at least all the ones he cared about. I torched him. I watched him burn. I cried with happiness while I did it.
Why?
Would that really matter to you, Mike? It's not very Christian of me, is it?
Oh, I figured out you weren't a Christian a long time ago. Apparently your stalker isn't either.
Seems not. Though he might think so. If it is a he, can't be sure. Might just be wearing a he.
Claims you killed his love. There's some woman. What? How many times have you incinerated so many people that you could stir up this level of hatred?
Oh, loads of times, but on my own account, it's been a while.
Can you nail this down to a specific time?
I think I have an idea. How much would you like to know? It sounds like we don't have all night.
Ruari, roll weird.
Snake Eyes, 5.
Make sure you mark experience.
Yep. Oh, and you know what? In fact, for this too, get yourself a luck.
All right.
You, as you're this whole time, you've been luxuriating in the amazing, wondrous feeling of being yourself. And your frustration and your suppressed anger has sort of clouded a sensation that is now coming expressly to the fore. It's slow, it's steady, but it's real. Your power is leaching back into the coin at a steady rate. It turns out that curse is just a little bit more durable than you might have thought.
Edith,
Yes?
you'd like to see this person beaten out of Thomas side.
I'd like to see both of you okay. And I don't know how to facilitate that.
I don't know if I can make him okay. But if you want to see him beat, at least, I think you might have to do that again, or something close to it. Because I don't think I'm going to have this all night. Or maybe just enough time. Maybe we'll be lucky.
Okay.
Well, we don't have a strategy yet for how we're going to defeat this thing without killing Thomas.
Is that so important?
It's very
Yes.
important.
Rory, I know there's some good in you. I've seen over the last few days. It's not weakness. Don't try to hide it.
You don't know anything.
Ruari? I don't know what it's like to be a god. Or anything close. I have never been anything like that. But I do know what it is like to burn down what the people around you loved. And then to be thrown in a hole because everything was your fault. Or because nothing was your fault. Just because everybody was mad at you. Or because you talked to the wrong person and told them the truth in the wrong way. And I am afraid of you, but you are also the last tie to my sister, so I'm sorry for holding on to you too tightly. But you are more than I can contain. And I tried to contain you for longer because I wanted you to maybe be safe and maybe be happy. And I don't think I helped that. In fact, I think I might have made it worse. But I just remember the 4 padded walls that I had for 6 months. And I think your coin is probably worse. So if you need me to give you the leash, then you can have the leash. And that's probably dumb, but if, you know, I understand. And no one deserves that. So, I don't know, okay. Give me another thing of alcohol.
Before.
Okay.
You should know some things.
What?
It was a long time ago. My kind. There weren't many of us even then. There were less soon after. But the people back in Ireland, they knew me and my kind. They knew to give us a wide berth, that we were to command a certain amount of respect. And I was young. And I was foolish. And I was in love with a young human girl like a deluded fool. Like our minds could even be thinking the same thoughts before I was stuck like this for long enough that I could feel it have infected me. And I'd look like this, and I'd come see her, and it was good. And then things started changing. Word was spreading. New faith. Quickly, just like shoot a glance over at Michael. And the faith said that there were things from the other world, what they used to call it, that would come here. And they meant sin and hellfire and temptation. And so I just had a moment where I got to show her who I am, who I really am. And she hated me. And she feared me. And she ran. And I hid. And when I finally went back home, I saw that everything and everyone I'd ever been brought up to love had been destroyed. My brothers and sisters. And my mother was gone. And so I hurt them. I took from them everything they took from me and more. And those that I didn't burn to ash, I kept in my clutch. And I told them what they could go to, and what they could be about, and who they could kill for me. Because I could do the killing too. And he's going to reach over and pull something from out of a bag by the sofa. And I was a bloody king. The man, or whomever, in Thomas. She never said she had a sibling. I didn't know. But I can tell you it wasn't me she was reaching out for in the crowd as the skin started peeling from her bones. And it got too hot and scorched her throat so she couldn't scream anymore. And I didn't love her any less. Imagine what I do to people I don't like, eh?
All right, Rory. I don't mean to seem cold. I feel for you. I really do. I can understand the pain you're going through. But right now, if we don't do something, either you're going to die or Thomas is going to die, and or hundreds of innocent people are going to die. So we need to come up with a plan to get this thing out of Thomas. So that ideally both you and he will still be alive at the end of this.
Fine. What do you want me to try other than kick the shite out of him?
The simplest answer is to get him to forgive you and just pass on. I don't think that's going to be very easy, though.
He's kind of crazy, Mike.
Yeah.
I don't think crazy people forgive
Simple isn't
in
the same as easy.
substantive ways.
Simple isn't the same as easy. That's the simplest method.
Fair.
What's a more likely method of success, though? You two are the ones who study mythology. You know, this isn't a demon, from what I can tell. My legs aren't itching, right?
No, this is not a demon.
Yeah. This is some sort of
This is a person.
other natural
Who
power.
is- This is a person who has made himself immortal by doing horrible things.
Yes.
I'm gonna put my book out on the table and taking a deep breath. I'm going to get my other book, not the one that I got last time, but the one that I took from our first adventure, and also spread it out and just kind of like just touching my flesh, like I'm continuing to remind myself that that's there.
Mhm. It is becoming more there and more tangible to you by the minute.
Kind of working my jaw as I flick through the pages and try to find any reference in the materials that I have to any sort of spell that could create an effect like this. Or
Everybody
reference.
roll weird. Everybody.
Okay. 12.
Okay. 12 Ferrari.
7.
All right.
Weird. 11.
Okay. And Edith.
2.
Mark experience.
This is,
Mark experience.
thank you, Will.
So, Ruari, you aren't able to find much until you go back over Jason's notes. And you find eventually through coded language, weird appendices, a sort of informal bestiary. And it's organized in such a way as to chronicle and separate and cross-reference power and longevity. And as you read, a name strikes your eye and a shiver of recognition goes up your spine as you see under possibly immortal creatures the name Revenant. Mike, you seem to recall, loosely on one hand, hearing some kind of odd parable when you were studying comparative religions about individuals who trade most of what's human about them in order to persist. You don't know much about it, but you reckon the father does. Edith,
Mm-hmm.
the pain in your hand is going away.
Okay.
Rose, you can feel him.
Near?
Fairly. It's been a weird sort of sensation that's been growing as you and Thomas have grown closer. But it sort of crystallizes for you in this moment that you're pretty sure you can sense his presence.
Hey, Edith.
What?
I don't know how I know, but he's around.
Right. Ruari, take this. Because I think I can hand it to you now. Because it doesn't hurt anymore.
Roll weird, both of you.
5.
9.
You can't hand it off.
I can't.
It
I can't.
physically rejects your opportunity to pass it to him. And you did not have this sensation of trying to push two same charge magnets together when whoever was riding Thomas took it from you.
And I'm also looking at it, and I do hesitate for a second, and then I try to like just reach out really quickly and snatch.
You can't do it. You can't do it. It repels your hand.
I try to pull the coin out of her hand. Is it stuck to her hand?
No. In fact, you wouldn't even have to. You can take it.
How bad is her hand burnt still?
Bad. But it doesn't hurt anymore.
I'm taking a picture of that and sending it to somebody I know from my old unit. Suggestions.
That's more or less what I thought.
I'm also texting the father trying to see if he has any advice.
Okay. So,
Mike, those people had better not come take Ruari away.
Which people are we talking about?
The ones you just texted.
Well, one of them is a civilian now. He was my old doc. I'm trying to figure what I can do for your hand. The father's going to try to figure out how we defeat a revenant. I haven't mentioned Ruari.
You just sent him a picture of the coin.
No, I sent my doc a picture of your hand that's burnt.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I misunderstood.
Frankie's good. Frankie's good people. Don't worry.
Okay.
So
it might be a while until he gets back to me. I talked to him every few weeks. So.
Give it back.
I'll give it back right away.
We've entered the preparation phase. So we're going to go to our break, and then we're going to go to individual scenes where each of you can decide what you're doing. And then, high midnight. I'll see y'all in 5 minutes.
It's bad.
Oh my god. Okay. Dan is first, and
Yay.
in our bit show break here, we usually talk about what else we're doing, but I am seriously traumatized. So
well, first of all, can I just say that if anyone thought it was weird that I kept doing this earlier, I'm just happy that as Ruari has grown increasingly unfocused, that I have come more into focus. I don't know. Should we talk about stuff? Should we talk about projects?
We should talk about stuff.
All
what
right.
are you working on, man?
Well, for those out there who just want more of Dan getting really emotional about things, I could recommend an itty bitty podcast called Ombligo del Diablo. access to which one can find by clicking on my name down there in the Twitch thingy. I don't know, we'll probably have that up in other places too, like in the YouTubes, maybe. I don't know.
I haven't put our bios on YouTube yet. I should do that. But if you're watching us on YouTube or on Facebook, find us on Twitch at Uncanny Pros, and all of our bios and all of our links are there.
I used to spell the podcast name, but people would get mad when I tried, and I'd usually fail anyway. But it is a Mage the Ascension World of Darkness 5th edition actual play podcast. If you are the sort of person who went, you freaking lunatic, you stupid idiot, history's greatest fool, there is no 5th edition of Mage, well, then that's the sort of person who should be listening to Ombligo del Diablo. It's a real neat thing. It is a dark, heavy experience. Be ready. There's the mature tag for a reason. But it is a sort of Western toned, slightly Lovecraftian, slightly Paradise Lost flavored journey through the personal lives of a bunch of sad people. And we would love it if you would join us. That is Ombligo del Diablo.
Lovely. Yes, we do get into some lovely dark stuff. One of these days, I'm going to have to tempt you into Read Watch Vent. We're going to have to do some horror stories.
Oh my gosh, I'd be
That's
so
a thing
happy.
that needs to happen.
So many Mike Flanagan things now that I've watched through most of Midnight Mass. So many Stephen King projects he's done.
It's such good. We've said it before on this channel, and I will say it again. Midnight Mass is amazing.
Very good for people into this sort of stuff.
Unlike Fresh, which I also watched this weekend, and it gave me a stomach ache. And I like horror.
I don't know what this is, but I probably would like it.
I don't know. It is a weird allegory for human trafficking and date rape.
All right.
And cannibalism. It's weird. I watched Midnight Mass instead, but yeah, Fresh is out there if you need that.
Sounds good.
Anyway.
This took a weird turn.
Okay, weird turn. I'll get off my horror high horse. We have other people who are working on stuff. Bill has his own little company that's starting up.
Yes.
What are the updates there?
So still in slow progress getting our first RPG supplement out, but also now I'm working with Elle on the second supplement, which is close to being done, and we're working on a deck of many things type thing. There'll be a deck of many things plus some other cards, so you can really mess around with your players, and they pull out a card, they have no idea what it is, and then you describe the effect just to terrify them.
No!
There'll be an actual physical deck you can buy to make it that much more immersive.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and we're having a lot of fun going through it all. And she has her own deck with stickers, and I love that art style, so that's what we're going with for this one. So it should be, hoping it won't be that much longer. We just started planning it, so it's going to be a little while before we have anything to show, but there will be some, I hope some teasers we'll have out here pretty soon with some of the cards, some familiar cards if you know the deck of many things, and some new ones, which
Cool.
But yeah, and the website's still clunky, so you can go look at it, but don't expect much.
It's still there, right
Yes.
under his name, though, so you guys can find it there. Next up, we do have the lovely Elle.
Hello.
Hello. What are
How's
you
it
working
going?
on, my dear?
Oh my God, so many things. And like what Will was just talking about, some stuff with Will. But
I need, hold on, just stop. We need like a ringtone. It's just, oh my God, so many things.
I say
Because
it every
happens
episode.
every episode. Anyway,
Just
continue
it's my catchphrase.
with
I
your
do
many
too
things.
Okay, so to start, we have a store.
We do have a store.
And it has cool things, and it will have even cooler things here shortly. We've got all sorts of cute little notebooks and mugs. I think there's stickers, there's a hoodie. So if you want to check out the merch, Chloe can post up a cute little link. Because I don't think the chat bot is doing the thing.
It was. I deleted that text. I don't know where it's coming
It
from.
wants you to know that it still has feelings for the old shop.
So yeah, you can still find the old shop if you click on that hidden link
Right.
that keeps popping up.
I mean, there's still stuff in it, so I guess you could shop out of there. It's just not as exciting as the new stuff.
Not as pretty. No, it's not.
But it's super cool. You're gonna have all sorts of cool new things coming soon. Chloe and I are working on some stuff behind the scenes. So look forward to all sorts of cool stuff. Right now, I think you can get some like really cool hoodies. I love the mugs. I'm really obsessed with them.
With the different color mugs.
Yeah.
Damn, if you're listening to this, go grab the mug because we got one.
Yes.
Damn.
I want to see it. But that's a really exciting project. We're gonna have some new stuff coming in there really soon. Like Will mentioned, I think there's gonna be some really cool stuff coming from a duo in there. And then, as he also so kindly mentioned, I have a shop myself, which is called Faithful Designs or Faithfully L on Etsy. It's super exciting because I make stickers. And now I have proper lighting so you can see the holographic. But it's really cool. I do all sorts of like D&D themed ones. I have a tarot series. Like this one is my favorite one. But they're really exciting. I have some new stuff coming too. I just finished up the design this morning. So if you're more into like word art stuff or fun kind of witchy vibes, that's usually what I work on in my shop along with D&D stuff. So if you feel like checking it out, you can go to the About Us section, click my name, or I think Faithfully L. Both of them should take to you. Fateful Designs will both take you to me.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm working on. What are you working on, Chloe?
Not a ton. Mostly working on getting the shop done and working on getting stories written and
I think we need to have opposite text tones because yours will ring, oh my god, so much. And then mine can ring, just this right now.
Just this thing. But here we go.
I love it.
That little green
yellow handle is the one I'm like obsessed with. But I like the blue too.
Yeah. So yeah, lots of design ideas. Playing around on the TikTok, trying to figure out that freaking algorithm so I can get this lovely show out to more people. And
if you know of anyone, tell them about our cool thing and bring them in here. Because we'll give them all sorts of weird things they weren't expecting, like Holy Super Soakers, which is a super cool sticker coming to the shop.
Yep. We've got a bunch of those. And then
Lord of the Rings fan could tell you I literally stopped in the supermarket to take pictures of Super Soakers, so that way I could have reference art.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's about it. That and Read Watch Vent this month is Murder on the Nile. Or Death on the Nile.
Death on the Nile.
Death on the Nile. So yeah, last Thursday of the month, we will be discussing Death on the Nile on the movie. Yeah. And I told DM we were doing that, and he's like, "Oh, you're gonna hate that book," and I was like, "That's fine. I'm allowed to hate books." He's probably
right.
A lot
to talk about,
right? So far, I've been upset about the movies and liking the books, which is surprising for me because I usually like movies more than books. We're picking weird books.
But that's fair. I mean, it's fair. There's just been some weird adaptations over the years.
Okay. Well, I think we're all back. So
yes,
we're gonna go
Are
ahead.
you not a big Agatha Christie fan?
No, I used to be. I don't know. I've changed since I was 12.
Poirot.
Oh man.
Who reads Agatha Christie at age 12?
Me.
Oh, I was in And Then There Were None. Fairly young. So I ended up reading it fairly young as well.
I read Wuthering Heights when I was 13.
Yeah,
because I thought it would impress my parents. It was a terrible book to read at 13. I hated every minute of it.
But if it helps, I did Les Mis for the same reason. I just wanted to prove that I could do it, and I suffered the whole way through it.
I love that book / movie / show /
Love the show.
musical movie.
Love the movies. The book was a long, very intense
you
experience.
Get
for
the
like a
unabridged one
14-year-old.
with the full Battle of Waterloo summary?
I don't think so, because I bought it was like the one with the Les Mis, the musical cover on it.
Okay.
It was still like 700 and something pages.
There's about a 70-page break to describe in its entirety the Battle of Waterloo in the unabridged version. It is left out of some modern editions.
I think that was probably left out because I don't remember that.
Fair enough.
But to be fair, it's such a blur of just me forcing myself to read the next page because I just wanted to say I could do it.
It's a favorite of Dan's that he read as an older teenager.
That's fair. I was like 14 and I was not prepared.
Fair.
All right, folks. I think we're back. You ready?
Mhm.
I warned each and every one of you.
Are you the player now or the?
Nope. I'm just saying. I told you it'd be intense.
That's why it was scary because I was like, oh my God, is this the Thomas guy saying that to me? Because I'm not prepared.
All right, everybody roll a d6.
In fairness, Rose, you were warned in the last episode. You were specifically warned.
I told that cop off and I'm not mad about it.
No, it was glorious. I was
What am I
very
rolling?
proud. All right, everybody, d6. Tell me what you got.
Oh, just a
Just a d6.
Oh, we got one tie. Should we
It's the-
say them verbally?
I was going to say, I
Yeah,
have a
I need to
5.
know what you got.
Oh,
It's a
we're
3.
all
We're all holding up
only
our
able to see
numbers.
one of us. Sorry, 4 on my end.
30.
All right.
Do Edith and I need to roll off?
Hmm?
Do Edith and I need to roll off? We both got 3.
You know, that'd be helpful. That way it's not arbitrary.
6.
Okay.
2. These dice are fired. They're so fired.
Maybe you need the small number. We don't know.
It's just the order we're going in. All right, Edith, you're first. What do you do?
Oh, I'm getting ready. Oh, I'm drunk. So it really hurt. It really hurt. And I didn't really know what to do. And also I was processing a lot of emotional trauma. Truthfully, I don't think I'm going to be super useful. I'm probably going to go upstairs and grab my old hunting rifle because it's there. And also the holy water that Mike got us because it's probably not going to be useful. But I'm like, I don't know. We'll have this. So I've got like a holy water super soaker and my hunting rifle and a kitchen knife because we haven't gotten a sword yet. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Your hand is throbbing.
Yeah, it
You
hurts.
notice it? It doesn't, though. When you get up to your room, you notice it's throbbing, but you really don't feel pain. And there's not really any numbness either. It just doesn't hurt anymore.
Hey, Kat.
And her presence sort of materializes at the edge of your knowing. You feel it.
I do not know if you have ever encountered any other souls that were maybe not right. Because I know a lot of weird stuff has gone down in this house. But do you know how they made them go back?
Go back where?
To not here.
I don't know what you're saying.
Well, thanks anyway.
Who do you want to go where?
There's a person who I think is mostly angry ghost than now.
Are you talking about the man that was wearing Thomas?
Yes.
He's not like me.
No, he's not.
I'm mist. I can't grab. I'm here but not, and I can only move if I want to. He's inky and dirty and foul.
Do you have
He's
an
in
idea?
Thomas, and he filled him up.
Do you have an idea how we would make him clean?
I don't know that anyone can be anything they don't want to be after they die.
Does this make any sense?
Tell me what answer you're trying to get. Roll investigate a mystery.
So that was an 8. I want to know, because she's been in this house and magical things have gone down. So she may have observed weird things. I want to know if she's ever seen anything like what's happening in my hand or what's tying me to Ruari, and because she doesn't know anything about the other ghosts, so they've never done that. But maybe she knows about this. Maybe not. I don't know. But she's been here for 100 years. So
The woman.
what woman?
The woman who was here when you were acting scary.
Yeah.
She came here and she did things, and things were called scary things. It felt the same
Is this
as this, as him.
as Ruari, or as this oily man? As Ruari.
The red-haired one.
Do
You
you-
don't see the full shape of him. It's immense. His shadow burns.
Kat, do you think he's good?
I think there was something the man said when you were acting scary. People are their pain. I think he can be. He's nice to me. But I think he hurts inside.
Yeah, he does.
You feel like her. Are you going to get scary again?
I feel like who?
The scary lady who called the monsters.
She had monsters on a chain? Like this?
Hers was spiky and thorny and mean. And they were scared and angry. And they wanted to eat her, but they couldn't. And when they would want to, it would hurt them.
Do you know how she had the protection?
Magic, I guess. It's why the scary man liked her. He wanted her to teach him how to bring something over and make it stay.
But Rory's always been here.
I don't think they were talking about Ruari.
When we go, be safe. Don't let anything strange in if you can help it.
Miss Thomas,
We'll get him back, I think.
not from him. And he noticed.
He noticed what?
He noticed that Thomas is back. He won't let him come back, Edith.
He
He's
who?
looking for him.
Who?
I'm not gonna say. He'll get mad at me. He'll
Is he-
break me.
Is he here?
She's gone.
This is too much.
Rose. You can feel Thomas's presence on the edge of your senses. And the others are busy. Is there any way that you want to act on that?
She's going to kind of go outside. Just take a deep breath for a minute. She's like, I don't really know how this works. But if you're hanging out and you can hear me, I need you to wake up.
The sky crackles with lightning, and it has started to rain. First, it's just a drizzle, but it's getting stronger. There's another flash of lightning and crack of thunder, and you know somebody's next to you.
Hello?
I'm sorry. It's never been like this before.
I don't know what to say.
He saw you and he fought. They're not supposed to fight. They never want to fight. That's never happened to me before. He's a man, isn't he?
I think so.
Do you know the reason I made my move now? At Poitiers, we had bows that could fling an arrow hundreds of paces. Not a weapon sufficient to kill one such as him. So I waited. I saw him across the battlefield, but I waited. The turn of the century, the Great War, your kind invented cannons, firearms that could throw so many bullets in a minute that it was as if they were multiplying in the barrel. Not enough. Not enough. Not enough to kill him, not enough to make it stick. So when I checked this time and I saw this perfect body, this empty vessel,
Stop talking about him like that.
I didn't know he was a man. Complicates things. I thought I was taking possession of a weapon. And I'm sorry.
Then let him go.
I can't yet.
You can't. You're choosing not to.
There has not been a weapon in 1,500 years strong enough to kill that thing. This body, this man can. I'll never get another shot like this.
And when Ruari doesn't hold back and he kills Thomas, then what?
He's not just fighting Thomas.
He's not. He's fighting you and Thomas, which is even more fun because either I lose one of my best friends, even though he seems very mad at me for something I don't know how I would have controlled. Either you kill my best friend or you kill the guy that I think I care about more than anyone else. So,
I'll win.
great. Good for you, I guess.
You can't tell, can you? It lurks on the edges. It's fuzzy. I thought I'd have access to all of it when I assumed this vessel, but I don't. There's a wall to my perceptions, to my abilities, but behind it is so much power. And all I have to do is peel just enough of it through to finish that thing, to make it pay for what it did. And then I can go. I can rest. I'm going to give him back. I've never given a body back in all my years, but I'll give this one back. You have my word.
I want your word that when you figure out this isn't a fight you'll win, you'll let him go.
I can't. You didn't see. You didn't see what he did.
I didn't. But you're punishing someone who just got a second chance. Thomas just got his second chance.
You're everything to him. You know that? Do you know why I thought he was empty? There are no memories in here. There's no personality. There's no knowledge. There's no trauma. There's just infantile newness and an encyclopedia of words and concepts, all anchored around you. Your friends, yes, but you. You're his destiny. Aina was our destiny. My people look to her, the firstborn of my father, to guide them to a new day. The land, the world, our people were changing around us. There was going to be a before, there was going to be after, ever since that Patrick came to the Isle and changed everything, and we needed her. We needed her to grow, and we needed her to learn, and we needed her to guide the destiny of our people. And because she loved that thing, I have no destiny. I have no people. I'm going to take from him what he stole from me. I'm going to take from him what he stole from hundreds of people who suffered under his flames and his tyranny, who he betrayed. I'll give the boy back then, but not until I'm finished with it.
I can't convince you. I can't imagine the pain you're in. But if there's anything I can ask, it's that you let him go as soon as you can. Because I don't know what Thomas and I are, but I think it might kill me if you kill him. For this.
I won't lose. I won't let that happen. You'll have him back by the time the sun rises tomorrow. I just have to do what I came here to finish.
I wish you'd look for something else. Because I think your rest would be easier.
He starts to shuffle away, and then he looks back at you. This is all I am. This is all that's between me and my rest. And he just turns and walks into the rain. Mike, what are you up to?
I'm texting any father I know who wouldn't freak out about this, but time sensitive. Is it possible to exorcise a revenant?
You get a call. Phone starts buzzing.
Hello?
What have you gotten yourself into now, my son?
So, do I know who this is? I'm assuming.
Mhm.
How much does he know about Ruari?
As much as you would have told him.
All right. So I've told you Rory's not really human. Apparently has a long past, and someone from centuries ago is out to kill him.
Centuries ago.
Yes. I'm learning more about Rory. Yeah, that's not what's really important. This being,
How driven is this thing? Is it a grudge or is it worse?
oh, it's far worse than a grudge. He's apparently, I think he's murdered a few people here in town today. And over the centuries, I don't know how many people he's murdered. And he's willing to murder hundreds, maybe thousands more to get to Rory.
You said you think this is a revenant.
Yes. We've been doing a
Well,
lot of research. That's about the closest we can come.
Your friend is marked, Michael. Revenants are created when a living soul filled with emotions of grief beyond reckoning uses that pain as a beacon, a focus, and something we're not sure what answers, transforms them. And they become spirits of rage pursued to a singular goal, a singular target. They're predators. They jump from body to body like a symbiote. They merge with their chosen hosts. It's not a possession. The church learned this when it first started trying to exorcise revenants. We don't have voluminous case study, but it can't be done because it's not a possession. It's not forcible. It's a merging. They act together. The revenant turns the host superhuman, and their minds and consciousness, they merge, become singular, distinct personality. The revenant uses up its host, jumps to the next one, evolves, grows, gets stronger and stronger and stronger, but very rarely, if never, to unwilling tenants.
I don't think Thomas is a willing host for this. If this thing's been around for centuries, could it have grown to the power where it could just take over someone?
No, no. But revenants are, for lack of a better word, they're a more tangible spirit. They don't even have to take over bodies. There was a famous revenant from the 1700s who took over a suit of armor. There was another one who only operated in wolves, bears, and animals that you would not expect to have the level of sentience necessary to merge with such a creature. But there's always some level of assent, usually some level of bargaining. Sometimes revenants choose their targets based on someone who doesn't want to die, or they can bring someone from the brink of death back in exchange for the merging. But to my knowledge, these creatures can take possession of a being in no other way. It must either be subsentient, inanimate, or willing.
How can the Revenant be destroyed?
It can destroy itself. Its hatred is its power, its cause, its fuel. They stalk, yes? They stalk for opportunities for openings because the kill must be final. Because when they use their power, when they unleash their hatred at their target, at their mark, it burns. It burns like gasoline. There's nothing left. If they act too soon, if they fight too hard, they can burn themselves up before they even finish what they're set out to do. Which is why they wait. It's why a revenant can stalk a target generations down their family line, take their vengeance on a relative so distant it hardly even applies. But that's the twisted logic when you're bound by those rules.
All right. So if the fight goes on long enough, will it just burn itself out and destroy itself?
I mean, the legends typically say that victories over revenants take place through survival. I think it stands to reason, but when you're talking about there's something that doesn't add up to me, Michael, and I'm hoping you can provide some insight and perhaps I can guide you more specifically.
Sure.
Your friend, this Ruari, this not human Ruari, seems quite powerful. You've shared with me his magical exploits. Would you say he's dangerous?
I'd have to say yes. He's just as I am dangerous. Maybe even more so.
So the question you need to ask yourself is, why is the Revenant taking its shot now?
It has control of a very powerful vessel, and I'm fairly certain I know how it got the vessel's ascent.
The only thing I can think of that could put a wrench in the gears of hoping this thing just spends itself in some magical combat with this Ruari is if it has a vessel with power deep enough to outlast the mark. That's what you're going to need to watch out for. And if you want Ruari to prevail, you say that you've set up mutual combat.
Yes.
Pick your moment to intervene, Michael. Pick your moment to intervene and make sure whatever you do that you force it to reach deeper and deeper and deeper until it burns itself out. It's the only way.
All right. Thank you, Father.
And another thing, when it does burn itself out and leaves what remains of young Thomas, please notify us. I'm sure that we would like to study it.
Of course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck, Michael. God be with
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Father.
Ruari.
Okay.
The only thing you're for is the clock, buddy. What are you doing?
I have one thing that I'd like to do before I prepare my own plans. I'm
Go
sorry
for
if
it.
this is a bit off the rails before.
Go for it. Hit me. You're seen.
I would first like to go and speak to Rose for a moment.
Bring her back.
Okay. He's just going to be kind of distraught looking. Do you just hang out outside in the rain after that?
She's kind of sitting out there a little bit. She looks
Okay.
upset.
I've got my bag with my books, and I'm going to step out there and I'm going to say, Rose?
Yeah.
I'd just like you to know that out of everybody, well, regular Tom, he's the one I'd least like to have in trouble. I hope you don't take offense to that personally.
I don't.
I just need you to answer one question for me before I go making any moves, okay? Scale of 1 to 10. How desperate are you to have this thing out of him? How low are you willing to go?
I'd do anything.
Then let me do it.
Hurry, I can't watch him die.
I'll do my best. Just gotta get creative. And I am going to turn into a bat and fly off towards our safe house.
All right. What are you doing there?
Okay.
You got time.
Okay. Go back into my regular form, sopping wet, I'm sure. And I'm going to go to the cage. Then I'm going to get a pen and I'm going to put it on a stick. And I'm going to open up my third book. And I'm going to use the pen on a stick to draw a circle inside of that cage. And then close the cage. and I am going to speak the summoning words of the succubus that we recently expelled.
First, roll cool.
Uh, 11 plus 2, 13.
You draw the circle with no issue at all. Now roll weird.
Luck.
Go ahead. Roll again. You succeed. I'm going to use this to decide how.
That's 9 total after the luck spend.
Cool. There's a tearing sound, then almost like the wet crack of bones breaking. You see sort of a hazy, shapeless figure. It hasn't really taken form, just resting in the circle. It's humanoid, just looking around.
Hello there, old girl. I'm so sorry to bug you again. I can't imagine you're happy to see me.
Speak.
Well, I could do that for days. It's actually getting me to shut up. It's quite a bit harder. All right.
Call me, imprison me, you dare.
I dare. I dare. Real good. You see, I know that we got some unfinished business ourselves, but you see, you're catching me at a real desperate time. I don't know if you know me. I don't know if you could. But I'm like you, see. And as much as both of us might have our issues, and as much as I might have a lot more fun just thinking of you burning away in that black little part of the other lands forever and ever, I've got an option here that might work to both of our advantage. You ready to listen?
Make your offer, beast.
Okay. Option 1. I leave you in here and get some of my Christian pals' holy water to splash on you every once in a while to amuse myself. That's the first one. Okay. Number 2. And this is where I think you might have a bit more fun. Your kind eats souls. I've got a whopper for you. There's a friend of mine. He's not quite like people. Sort of like me, but, different. And normally...
The stupid boy whose shape I took to tempt the lady.
Did you get a sense of him? How big he was in there?
Oh, yes.
I don't even think that you could handle him. But there's something else in there too now. Something old. The poor fool boy got himself infected with a revenant, and he ain't merged with it. It's still in there, fighting with him. Big, juicy, fat, dripping with hundreds of years of pain and hatred. Over 1,000. It's got as much sin on its black little festering remains of a soul as you could possibly imagine.
You would have me place my power on a shard of it.
I would have you draw it like poison from a wound and come away with the biggest haul of a being that you've had in your pathetic little existence, and then crawl back to your pit much the fatter. And I won't trouble you on your way down.
You won't trouble me ever again.
That's the bargain, is it?
Oh, there's one final condition.
Speak, worm.
You must render the pig fat for suckling. I can't take it myself. If it's being run by a rejuvenated soul, it has access to more of the shard's power than the boy did. The immobilization, the defeating, that's your work. I'll finish it.
Fine.
And if the doing, if the calling sends a beacon into the ether and calls the rest of him home, I am not sticking around to see what happens next.
Ain't none of your business. I understand. And
We
I am
have
going
a cord.
to pull a knife out of my pocket and slit my palm, bound in blood.
Yes, I will be watching and waiting, and when the moment is right, I will feast.
And back down.
Back down.
And that is all I wish to accomplish beforehand.
All right. Let's bring the group back together.
Not what I meant.
Whoa, wow, I love all of your faces.
You have not been back on this beach since you fled it the first time. It is still raining, and thunder and lightning split the sky, illuminating massive waves and high tide, battering the beach and the sands like a victim. And standing as you arrive, looking out at the tide, is whatever is wearing Thomas waiting for you.
Think Mike has something?
Yeah. Michael is fully kitted up, and when he was alone, he took his breacher's gun and emptied it. There are no shells in the gun at all. He still
Okay.
has it on his kit.
You have total control over your kit when you have foresight into a conflict. So anything you tell me you did, as long as it's reasonable and you would have known, is going to be okay.
And he's been staring at Rose a lot. Just seems to be kind of obsessed.
Do I currently, for the time up through midnight and however long, for a while, still have command of this? Or are we going to need to ask Edith to do something again?
I'm probably like, every time you're like, it's getting less, I'm like, no rules, no rules.
That answers that.
I'm not even fighting it at this point. I feel very bad about not doing this correctly. Like, the older sister in me is just like, no, I failed everybody. Here, I'm sorry. No rules. Don't.
Well, it would be just like, wait until the moment.
Okay.
Because
fine.
otherwise you'll die, and then I don't even know what will happen.
Don't. Okay.
I have no interest in casualties other than you, Ruari Flynn.
You know these folk. They just get a bit overzealous, don't they? Folk always do when they get their noses too deep in a problem.
It's the first time you've cared. Remember Moscow, 1812? I came for you then. You didn't know what I was. You didn't know who I was. But I came for you and all your friends in those raggedy uniforms. You threw them in front of me one by one, left half the city in flames. What makes this crew different? Yeah, that was me. Nice to see you again.
Would it make you feel better to know I didn't choose any of it since that first time. None of that was my decision.
You didn't choose. You didn't choose to burn my dear Aina alive.
No, that one was me. That one was me.
Yes, it was. You see, you're not as inhuman as you seem to think you are. Your eyes communicate your pleasure, your twisted joy as you burnt to the root the future of my people away.
Do you know what she did?
What she did, Ruari Flynn? What did she do?
She took everything. They all took everything.
She took everything, Ruari Flynn? Or she told me and her guardians, and we found that lair and did what needed to be done?
Your hand. Your bloody hand did it.
Every single one of them crushed in my fingers, and I regretted every last one until the moment you rained your wrath down on my sister, whose only crime was telling us what you are. You didn't burn my father. You didn't burn me. You burnt her. You burnt her friends. You burnt anyone who was within 100 feet of her.
You really... You want to know what's different about these folk?
Yes, I do.
Timing. Now, Edith.
No rules.
Before you start, I'd just like to ask a question. Let's just assume you kill Rory. What's your plan then?
It's over then, Michael Connor. And whoever or whatever was wearing my sister's dying screams when she granted this power to me takes back her gift.
And what then?
Whether it be the fires of hell or the trumpets of paradise or something in between, I don't know. Maybe it's oblivion. Maybe all that awaits me is void. I don't care. All I want is his head.
So you're just going to go ahead and go to hell after this?
I don't care, Michael Connor, what happens to me. This is justice. This is justice through the ages, and I will not be denied it now. Not for my destiny or his.
This isn't justice. This is vengeance.
One and the same.
How many people have you murdered over the centuries to get back at him for murdering
I've lost
What?
count.
dozens?
I've lost count, honestly. Thousands. That's the trick. That's what makes it work. You see, the wrath, the blood, that's what keeps me vital, lets me hop, lets me persist, lets me continue. See, my fate is his fate. I wish I could have let him go, but I couldn't. I hate him too much, and I've come too far. And now I'm going to take his friend, his soulless, mighty friend, his shadow of something so much larger, and I'm going to tear his heart out of his chest with him.
Then why are we hesitating?
And Thomas agreed to let you do this.
No. No. No, I was going to torture him until he did. Then I realized I didn't have to.
Okay, Michael grabs Rose by the hair and pulls out the shotgun and points the shotgun at her head.
Mike?
What
Thomas,
Let me go.
kick
What?
him out, or I will kill Rose.
What do you think you're doing?
I know. Mike, I can't. I can't do it.
Take him, Rory.
I suggest you all stand back.
And he's still pointing the gun at Rose.
Rory is going to throw himself down on the dirt. And would you like to tell them what happens, or should I?
Go for it, buddy. Your stage.
Okay. It's much like most of the other times that you have seen Ruari transform into something else. But something about this feels more fluid, more natural. As you see first his skin take on a hue of red, brighter than blood and darker than a sunset. As the flesh expands and grows thick, and there's a hide like an alligator forming around him as his clothes and possessions merge into his being. And if anyone gets a good look at his eyes during this, they are ablaze with bright hellfire, and bones begin to sprout and pop out of his back as they form into great, enormous, leathery bat wings. His head likewise swells in size and expands as his teeth grow to the size of daggers, and the precise level of size that he expands to is, to a degree, up to our keeper. However, the name of the ability managing this is humongous. As he
I'm thinking about 30 feet.
30 feet. And as he spreads all four of his great scaled limbs out before you and reaches his head back to let forth a torrent of blue, white, and red flame, you are able to conceptualize what is before you as something out of ancient myth, a dragon. And I am going to charge Thomas.
Go ahead, man. Roll up, and we're into Titanic stuff now. So go ahead and roll your tough and double it.
Okay. And in addition, while I am humongous, all of my attacks count as far. Physical attacks inflict an additional 1 harm and take 2 additional harm points. And when using fire, I have control of it and a wide reaching around me and mastery of it.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I can
man.
concentrate the element into a large attack, which is 4 harm, close area, plus whatever tags come with the elements.
You also get to double your toughness bonus. So
Perfect. The bonus, not the roll, correct?
the bonus, not the roll. Yeah,
All right.
that would be meaningless.
Okay. All right. 7. That is 11.
Okay, tell me what you do.
Okay. Thomas is tough. I'm not playing with kid gloves. I'm going to have to beat the living hell out of him. So I want to sweep forward at inhuman speed, using my wings to thrush me forward like the wind, to grasp him in my jaws, and like a Rottweiler with an intruder in its jaws, thrash wildly and then toss him to skip across the sand.
Okay. 1 second. He is limp as you shake him and you throw him bodily, and he hits the ground and skips like a rock twice before that left hand, that black and cracked left hand, grabs the sand and claws himself to a stop with such might that it renders a 3-foot deep trench in the beach. And he stands and his clothes are just shredded, but his eyes are totally black.
You've waited a long time for this. Come and take it from me if you want it.
I hope that's not as hard as you can hit. And he explodes out of the turf at you, reaching his left hand back for a punch. And Mike, you can tell Thomas isn't there anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, put the gun down, Mike, and I'm just gonna like hold Rose and be like, you don't have to watch this.
That was a very, very, very good plan, actually, and it's why Ruari got the first shot off. I had a trap set that did not come off.
I'm so stressed out.
Sorry, Rose.
Yeah.
The gun is related. I know the only reason Thomas would ever agree to work with this is if he knew you were in danger.
Rose just kind of like hugs Edith, and she's crying. She's super upset.
Now, remember, Ruari, you have a vastly improved harm pool. Your HP has doubled for this contest. And that's probably
I'm sorry.
good.
I'm sorry. I don't have it written down. What is it initially at? Equal
I
to?
think you're 7, aren't you?
Let's see. Is that around my tough? I have 2 tough. Or no, sorry.
You're 7 harm. You're a supernatural creature in human form. Base
Understood.
is 6. You have 7 harms. You got 14 right now.
14 harm. Got it.
And probably natural armor. So I'll go ahead and just shave 2 off because I'm imagining you're pretty durable. Even so, when he hits you, it's the size disparity is comical. Like you're the size of a house and he's the size of a person. But when he collides with you, it's like he's a bullet. The impact and the pain that comes right from the sight of when his fist hits you right in the chest takes you largely by surprise. You suffer 2 harm and roll sharp, which you get no bonuses to.
Rolled okay. 9.
You are intimately familiar with power in your mystical senses, in your mystical sights. You can almost perceive it. It's virtually extrasensory, almost like you're viewing in the ultraviolet spectrum, but you're able to see things for what they are in terms of their might and their power. And you know how yours work because you know how your mother's worked. The power, it burns from inside. It's an aura growing and expanding from your very heart to cloak you. It belongs to you. It's yours. Thomas's power, his aura, or this thing's in it, is impossibly huge. And you know in a flash, it's too big. You're in trouble. But you also know that it doesn't belong to him. He's pulling it from somewhere else. You had to take a shot to get that insight, but you've glimpsed that major revelation. He's probably stronger than you, but it doesn't belong to him.
Where you have this? It's not yours. It may not even be Thomas's. Let's get it off you. Let's see if we can burn it out.
I am going to, if he is up there after he struck me, I am going to try and grip him in my claws and flap up like 50, 60 feet if I can, and release him a few feet above me before pouring out a torrent of near liquid flame on him.
Yeah.
That'd be 4 harm under normal circumstances.
Yep. His skin crackles and blisters and swells, but it seems to heal itself almost as steadily as you inflict damage. He staggers and buckles because your flame isn't just flame. This isn't a blowtorch crystallizing creme brulee. It's a torrent. It's a tide. It has weight. and he bends and he goes to one knee as you pound him down from the heavens with this torrent of flame. Then he raises his left hand, and just like waves on a rock, your fire starts to break around it. It's almost absurd looking, considering the difference in proportion. And he stands, and he extends his left hand, pointing at you, and a small black orb begins to grow in his palm before he releases it. And it slowly but surely, no more than 5-6 miles an hour, begins to push your own flame back at you. Roll weird.
8, 9, 10, 11.
It gets dang close before you give everything of yourself to stalemate it. You feel him fighting against you. It's less a contest of wills at this point as it is a contest of inhuman demigod-like power. But through your extrasensory perception, your ability to perceive, you see him glowing from the inside, but not with power or magic, just glowing from the inside like a flare, a distress flare in the sky. He is using himself up to do this to you.
And here I thought you had hate for millennia. I think you're getting winded, my little Irishman.
My name is Kahal, brother of a murdered sister, scion of a murdered people, and I will drag you to hell with me, beast. And he clutches his wrist in his other hand, and his eyes blaze. The blackness is replaced with shining, almost headlights. And you feel a rip, a surge of power from wherever he's getting it. Roll weird.
Oh, dude, keep this up. 4 and 6. That's 13.
The surge of power and the burst of whatever he is sending at you, it's too much for you to resist, but you're canny. You've been doing this for a long time, and you sense his magical energy just as it crests and breaks the stream of your flame, and you veer to the side, and what can only be described really as a magical meteor of pure destructive entropic force misses you by a hair and careens into the heavens. And you look down, and he's standing in the beach, standing in a crater 8 foot deep of glass from that contest. Your flames having glassed the entire crater. And he just looks up at you, and he raises the hand of fate.
I am going to leap upon him like a tiger. And if I collide with him, I am just going to try and take a moment. I am not going to lash out with my strength. I am going to search for whatever mystic hand is grasping onto this power that isn't his.
Really? Roll weird.
Okay, that's a 9.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's boxcars for him.
Okay.
You reach out and get control of him physically with your bulk more than anything. Your strength is a more even concept, but you're huge. He's a man, and you're able to just use your mass to pin him for a moment. And you lash out with your power and in that ethereal way that's impossible to put into words to try to get a hold of what whatever strength he's grasping. But when you hit it, it backlashes on you in a way that you have never experienced or could even conceptualize. It is like touching. It's like fighting a buzzsaw, but one that goes to your very essence, which you can feel or conceptualize as your soul, if you have one, or do have one. And it passes through your body like a jolt, like you've been hit with a gigantic taser. And the pain is unreal, and your draconic scream probably wakes the entire city up. And this Thomas thing reaches his left hand back and plunges it into your chest and breaks skin. And roll weird.
8, 9, 10, 11.
Good roll, man.
I add 3. This is my best thing. Got a 5 and a 3. We're riding out on above average rolls.
When he reaches deep enough to grip something fundamental that you hope isn't your heart, you're washed. Your world explodes into whiteness, into nothingness. And for a moment, you think you've died. It reminds you of the island. But wait, it reminds you of the island. The mist is the same. Is that grass underneath your feet? You know that house. You know that river. You know that man waiting for you to talk to him. You find yourself in your human form, stuck between, conferencing with the nameless king.
Oh. Oh. Did it go like that?
Do you mean, are you dead again?
Whatever that means these days.
You're not.
You got a pretty good one in, though.
Rest assured, if what is happening down there on your plane continues as it's going, this is about done, and he's going to finish it. He has the power to do it, I'm sorry to say.
I tried to take his grip off of whatever he's using to kill me, but the rose has thorns.
That stem to the rose, as you so aptly put it. Want me to let you in on a secret?
Go on.
A secret you've earned with your creativity. I see what you did with the demon. That was inspired.
Aye. Well, desperate times and all.
The rose is what they wanted from him.
I can see why.
You have no idea. Do you
I
want to
know
know
it's
how to
big.
beat it?
Aye. Can I do it without taking Thomas down?
I have no idea, but he seems pretty durable.
Fair enough.
How would you kill a god, Rory? Or at least someone who acts like one?
I'd go for the source of them. For a lot of them, that's the worshippers, I suppose. But
You're almost there. I knew a creature as ancient as you would be wise. Finish the thought, Ruari. Come on.
deeper power than worship.
What gives worship its power, Ruari?
Faith.
How do you break his faith? Think about what you know. Think about what he's told you, what he's blabbed in his hatred.
He killed them, my brothers and sisters.
Oh, he did.
He killed them because Ina told him about me, about what I was.
Not because she told him about you, Ruari. Because he was afraid you'd take her away from him.
What?
He had no idea that she was afraid. He had no idea what she thought. And as far as I can tell, and as you recall, I'm in Thomas's memories as well. He didn't so much as consult with her before he did what he did after he learned what he learned.
She didn't want it?
I don't know. Neither does he. Unfortunately, I can't make it that clean and easy on you, Rory. I don't know. Maybe she did. Maybe she didn't. You know, those were more superstitious times. Her reaction was probably pretty poor, but it seems to me that there might be a little more nuanced how you think that played out. But what you've got staring across the battlefield from you, literally about to rip your heart from your chest, is the cancer that sprung up from that ignorance. What does he want more than anything in the world?
Vengeance.
How does he take it?
He's a parasite. He takes from others to throw at me. He rides
Humble
them.
yourself, Rory Flynn. Humble yourself. Your might is considerable. You are the closest thing to a god without being one. It's blood deep, but it can't save you, not against something like that. So think, how does he take his vengeance on you, Ruari?
He wants to drag me down with him. He wants
to kill you.
Yes. Aye, he does.
If he kills you now, if he pries your draconic heart from your chest, will you stay dead?
I don't know. It's never happened.
But if he kills Rory Flynn or hurts him with all of his power and his being in that coin, will you stay dead, Rory?
No, I'd keep going.
You can't beat him as the beast. Beat him as the man.
But I'm nothing. I'm nothing like that. I'm just meat and words.
Meat and words with the ability to deny your greatest nemesis who has pursued you through millennia the victory he needs to take from you pretty quickly or he's going to burn himself out.
Do we think he'll keep coming?
You think I keep trying to kill you if you change back? Yes, I do.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you something though, but you know how it works.
What do you need?
I want to trade.
Okay. We've already got the one. I've kept an eye on him. What do you want this time?
You've done a great job, by the way. I need you. Oh man, I don't want to waste this. It seems like a golden opportunity with your life on the line and whatnot. Let me savor it. I can get something really good here, can I? Yeah, I can. I want you to find out how she did it. I want you to find out how she hollowed him out. And when you do, be it a spell, be it a ritual, I want you to bring it to me and nobody else.
She?
Yeah, it's a she, I'm pretty sure.
No, wait, are we... Real quick, are we talking about... Are we talking about Thomas?
Oh, yeah. Who else do you think I'm interested in this scenario?
Fine. To save my life and his, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. You get the secrets.
Shake my hand. And when he touches you, your palm feels warm. Very, very warm. And when you look at it, you notice that there's almost like a glowing version of your coin rippling across your palm. That, Ruari Flynn, is knowledge. When the moment comes, you send that to little Edith, and she'll unmoor all of this, these catastrophic forces from our plane into mine. And for a moment, just a moment, he'll be both weak and exhausted and vulnerable. And then you play your trump card. Savvy?
Get him tired. Pull the trigger. Bring her in.
Absolutely. I like you. You know how to fight smart, including taking advice when it's good for you. But, Ruari, the last promise I exacted from you, I care, but it was easy. This one matters to me. You try to cheat me out of what's mine, and there will be consequences. I can't help it. It's just how it works.
Much as I might regret it later. Right now, I don't give a bloody damn.
Smart man, or dragon, or I really don't know what to call you, to be honest, but I'm impressed. But it's probably about time that you wake up, because he's give or take like 3 feet away from the innards of your thoracic cavity, and you don't want to let him get your heart. So go do something about that. And you wake up in absolute blinding pain, just agony, and look down and literally see this miniature creature digging through your chest with this blackened, cracked left hand that is smoking and giving off sparks as your flesh yields to it like it's a blade.
And I am going to breathe out a gout of flame in agony as I will suddenly shrink back down and with human hands hold on to his arm.
What are you doing?
Just put them back. Just put the damn things back.
Put the rules back?
Just do it.
All the rules apply!
No! What are you doing?
All the...
I'm going to punch him in the face.
It bounces off him like he's Superman.
I
And
I don't know if my knuckles are breaking or anything, but if they are, I keep going.
he
Is
hits you
his
back.
hand still in Rory's chest?
No,
Okay.
he pulls it back. And you break your right hand against his face, and then your left hand. And then he smacks you down in a heap, but screams to the heavens in frustration and rage. And if you look up and notice it, you see his skin, his cracked skin is smoking. Change back.
Is that all you got, you worthless pile of filth?
Spit out a bunch of blood.
He kicks you, and you pirouette like a frisbee against the beach. If your bones were normal, it'd have broken your back. But he can't. He gets over, he's frustrated. He hits you again. The world whites out, but it comes back. He hits you again, the world whites out and it comes back. And Mike, Rose, and Edith, what you're seeing is every time he hits him, you swear to God, you see Ruari's head dent, a skull-crushing blow, and then it just fixes itself. And Edith, every time it does so, the coin is warm. And he tries, and he tries, and he tries. And finally, he backs off with a horrific scream and sinks to his butt. No, no!
If it's any help, I know what you're feeling. It doesn't get easier.
And I am going to pick my spot.
Go ahead, roll weird.
10.
Edith, roll sharp.
Well, that was a 6.
You want to use luck?
I don't have any.
I know exactly how this is going to go down.
Wasted it on the other thing earlier.
You suddenly feel the coin is warm again, not just burning, but hot. And information blazes through your mind. It's almost, no, it is too complicated to comprehend. It is a headache in the form of a data dump. It is symbols, it is glyphs, it is words, and you feel yourself overwhelmed, and you reach with your free hand, your unburned hand, for somebody, anybody. Mike and Rose, roll sharp.
Four.
Rose. Oh, L with the save.
Hi.
Mike catches Edith by her shoulders as she reels from this onslaught. And Rose grasps her hand, and together your brains fill with the same information, but together you have the processing power to make sense of it. And Edith, almost without asking it to, you raise your hand and you present your scar, which no longer looks like the coin. And you say a word that human tongues cannot replicate, in syllables that obey no word of earthly language. And the three of your minds conceptualize knowledge that cannot be interpreted or given shape by the human experience. And there is a thunder crack apart and separate from the storm. And the mist that you all are so familiar with drifts in and over the beach. And suddenly, a dark figure strides out of the sand as if waking up from being buried under it. And it twists and it turns and it morphs until it looks like Rose. And it turns to the three of you as you regain your senses and blearily try to attach your sentience and your consciousness to your meat. And it winks, turns to Ruari, gives you a thumbs up, Ruari, and turns to the Revenant, to Cahal, to Thomas, whose eyes flare with realization before it's on him.
If you can say anything through all that,
I know
Go
what
for
you're
it.
going through must be hell. But I want to know one thing. Did she want it? Did you think she wanted it?
He is writhing as the succubus takes its time and overpowers him and gets her lips on his. And he looks at you, his eyes blazing, and gives you the middle finger before, in a blinding flash of light, both demon and something, some inky black smoke sludge like something rip from Thomas, disappear with a crack. And Thomas's form reverts, the cracks in his skin heal, and he sags in a heap on the beach.
Rose is gonna run straight to him.
And Edith's going to run straight to Ruari and just give him a hug.
Mike,
Mike
real
was-
quick, roll sharp and weird, Mike.
Okay, sharp is a 10.
Okay.
Weird, it's a 5. With my modifiers,
Okay.
that's a 5.
Okay. Rose, Thomas is out. He's limp. He's like a corpse. There's breath, there's a heartbeat, but he is as out gets.
Michael's looking for any sort of signs of people checking out this giant,
Mike is
dragon
noticing
fight.
something and processing a thought, but real quick, Edith and Ruari.
If I feel a hug around me, probably his first instinct is just to like flinch.
Nope, it's just a full hug. It's a like a hold hug, and he can flinch, and that's fine. But I think he's too injured to push me away. And I'm pretty sure I haven't given him a hug before, which is unfortunate. And I'm just gonna say I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I didn't. You shouldn't feel that way from me.
Why?
I did all this. You wouldn't be here if it weren't for me. I killed, and he came, and he kept coming, and I kept killing, and it felt right to do, and then it was for everyone else, and you're the only one who told. You don't tell me to do it no more, and I don't even know who I am.
Well, welcome to being a person. It
Oh,
sucks.
bloody hell, I'm a person.
It's awful. It's absolutely awful, but at least we're in it, you know, side by side.
Mike,
Shite.
Yes.
you're not alone. And you notice, because everyone else is in their emotions, and that's cool. Rose is worried about Thomas. Edith is worried about Ruari, and Ruari is worried about a whole lot of things right now. But you're looking around, and you notice the mist and the weirdness and that light quality of the air that overtook when you guys jointly did whatever you did. It's not going away. It's getting worse. Almost like a fog rolling in from sea, only you recognize this fog. It is not natural.
Everyone, we need to all close in on Thomas. Move quickly.
Come on.
Okay,
Rose just kind of pulls Thomas into her arms.
all right.
And I don't know. I hope Rory can walk because I don't think I can carry him, but I can at least like
I
shoulder.
don't know how my body's doing, but
Mike, you hear the nameless king in your thoughts. Did that really happen the way that looked like that happened? It took all three of you?
I believe so, yes.
All three of you. You did that together.
I think so. I'm looking at Rose and Edith.
So the trump card I gave Mr. Flynn was enacted triple strength. It's not good. Well, Michael, we have a problem. I gave him a trump card to strip his adversary of the bulk of his power by using my realm as a dumping ground. But now my realm closes in, and you remember the last time you visited, yes? The circumstances?
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if this continues, and looks like it might, I'm pretty certain it'll kill you all again, and there's not a damn thing I can do about it.
Mike, who are you talking to?
The unnamed king. Can you not hear him?
No.
Mr. Connor, I'm going to offer you a bargain. I think it's the only way I can help you.
Don't make any deals with him. They're not good.
I'm not sure we have much choice. What's your bargain?
Is there
sir?
a magic I can do? I got
It's
all
okay,
this
Rory.
bloody magic.
Shh. It's okay.
Mr. Connor, in this space, in this dreamland of memory and knowledge and history, no, the only place to hide from the power that I accidentally made you unleash is to retreat into memory, to history. I'll hide your consciousness. I'll hide your beings in that history, in that memory, until the firestorm this battle unleashed passes. And then I'll put you back in your bodies. You'll wake up on the beach, and I'd imagine you'll be okay. It's the only trick I can think of to get you out of this mess. What do you think?
I don't have any better options.
No,
Mike?
you really don't. You're a captive audience. I'm trying not to abuse that with what I'm going to ask of you. But all that strength, all that power, well, that oily, inky black little creature that demon sucked out of the boy, that has to go somewhere, yeah? And I want it back. In exchange for me saving you and your friends right now, you go to your church and you go to your father and you find out how to call back whatever of my power that demonic thing sopped up back from the pit. You call it there, you put it back in the boy. You understand?
Let me make sure I'm clear on this. So there was a revenant and then a demon.
Ruari
Oh,
had a trick up his sleeve.
oh,
He made a
forgot
deal with
about that one.
He made a deal with the succubus. He called it back. He summoned it, and used it to cleanse your friend, to cleanse Thomas. The problem is she took a little bit too much of his power with him, and I want it back.
She took some of Thomas's power.
Yeah.
What?
She sucked the revenant from him brute force. You don't think some little magical fleshy bit stuck when she dragged it out with claws and teeth? Of course it did. I can feel it.
That bitch broke the deal.
So I'm going to go to my church and try to figure out how to get Thomas's power back.
You're going to go to your church. You're going to learn from them how to summon a demon. You're going to summon that demon in full force. Your little ritual won't work anymore. It's too fat and happy. You need something stronger. You're going to pry what's his off of it and put it back in him. Deal?
I can offer it to the church. It's up to them to accept it. I don't know if they will.
Michael, if you want to live, you'll promise me you'll make it happen, and I know you're a man of great will and action.
I'll do all that I can.
Mike, don't give him what he wants.
I need a yes, Michael, or I can't promise what happens to you and yours.
I can promise I'll do my best, or I'll do what you ask or die trying.
Good enough. Shake. All right. He clasps your hands, and all of a sudden, the four of you feel your minds unmoored from your bodies, cast about into the white void in the mist that you've come to know so well. And you hear a ringing tone of an amused voice, the Nameless King spiriting you on some journey. I don't know where you're going to end up, but good luck. And then all of
Did anybody else just listen?
Oh my god.
What is he saying?
Ah, Dion, your mic just went out on us.
This
It was
is what
horrible.
happens.
Ah,
Yes.
yes.
Then
Yes.
all of as I said, after what did you end up on?
Well, it was
I'm-
like good luck, but it was like from a crazy like through
Glitch.
the void, and then
Yeah, sorry.
nothing.
That
And
was-
as your minds become unmoored,
Yes.
rah, rah, rah,
As
rah.
your
Good
minds
luck.
become unmoored from the void. That's what I get for trying to do a cool vocal effect. God dang it. As your minds become unmoored from your bodies, you hear a ringing, amused laughter from the Nameless King echoing through what's left of your thoughts. I don't know where you're going, but good luck getting home. And then there's a blast of white and the chill of void. And then all of the four of you, all of each of you, is nothing at all. And that's the end of the session today.
I'm gonna miss my final. I don't have time for this.
It's just rude, really.
Ah!
Delightful, but I can't enjoy it.
And that will take us directly into next week, where we have got something real special planned up for everybody.
Yes.
How
Yes,
much
we
of
do.
that? How much of that did you have planned, and how much were you like stitching together out of
Enough.
ideas? Okay.
Enough. I had a lot of. I tried to keep this one really broad conceptually because I wanted to give everybody freedom to act, but I also wanted to give you the ability to drive it because it was really your narrative.
Awesome.
So I had some beats. I had 2 ways to get to the end, which the crew knows is significant, and the audience will learn next week why it's significant. One way in which you figured it out, and the other way in which you needed to make a deal for somebody to help them. And by the way, no shame. That is maybe the subtlest clue I have ever dropped in a game for how to beat something.
All right.
And I don't even know that it would have been in character for you to come to that without the Nameless King's help. So I really loved how that played out.
I don't know that
was
anybody
great.
could have come to that except for Edith. So I think she's the only one who heard him ask for that.
Well, everybody had their own discoveries. We know that Ruari knows about Revenants from the book.
Yeah.
It's
And
true.
we learned the audience learned the details from Mike's conversation.
Ah!
Yeah,
Oh.
no, but so I would say 50% scripted and 50% improvised.
I like it. Oh boy.
How's everybody doing?
I'm stressed out, but you know, that's usually how I leave these sessions is stressed out.
I knew this one would be intense. I thought everybody did a great job.
I like
Particularly
anytime
Dan.
I get the chance to cry a little bit on screen.
Oh my god. I was like, we're all in tears. It's too sad.
There's a lot of things happening.
Oh yeah, and we've got a really cool couple of sessions coming up, and then very little will be the same, and some really intense stuff planned from my end. Be cool.
No.
Oh, that
That
is
help with the stress levels we were just discussing.
Can
Well,
we talk
remember-
about the fact that if everything goes off without a hitch and we accomplish everything exactly according to plan and we're all cool, a bunch of cops have Rory's face on a person in a police station that then turns into a bird.
Guys, we're so
Rose just told the cops they can F off.
we're
and leave us
so in
alone.
trouble with the cops for
Oh,
the record.
gosh.
Our neighbors were just murdered, seemingly OD'd for
The
like the
thing-
third time in a few months. Our front door's been obliterated.
Oh, the door's gonna repair itself.
Yeah, the door's gonna be fine.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's totally
Matt.
fine.
The cops
Thanks,
might
Kat.
just throw out all the videotape because they're like, okay, so this scene of
It's
class
clearly
got turned
doctor.
into a dove, so this obviously this file's corrupted.
I will say this, just the tease going forward. The law is a problem, and it's the least of your problems coming down the pipe. You know, the roller coaster goes up, 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 up. This adventure I had scripted as the top. So
The church's prime demon hunter needs to summon a demon and convince the church to summon a demon. So yeah, this is gonna be fun.
the
Wheel.
best part is binding y'all into bad stuff when you need help.
Did you even think of that as an option when during the end of Will's adventure I grabbed that book? Did that factor, or did I spring one on you?
I had a sequence of events planned for if you called for help. I didn't know that you'd pick that demon. I didn't know that demon existed when I started planning this.
Yeah.
But I had, let me check my document. I had 19 different possibilities for the way I thought Ruari might go. And I had sort of rules to make them work. And don't overestimate. It's like 3 or 4 sentences. Like, here's how you can make this apply to this creature's strengths and weaknesses. And yeah.
Oh, shoot. All right.
Well, is late. So, dear audience, we are going to let you go to bed. And yes.
Are we? Do you want to talk about the 10th?
No.
Okay. Never mind.
Never mind.
Everybody stay tuned. There might be a bonus episode on the 10th.
Dun, dun, dun,
There
dun.
might. We're working on it.
I don't know, given where this ended up, that the bonus episode.
I didn't know, but I was
The
like,
timeline, you know, we can set it. What if we said it earlier?
You absolutely have the freedom to do that.
Well, yeah. So stay tuned. There might be a bonus episode, but if you but subscribe so it'll pop up and be like, "Hey, they're playing," and you can figure that out. So
You'd all be our heroes.
love you guys, and we will see you guys for sure next Tuesday, and maybe on Sunday.
Thanks for tuning in. It's a ton of fun to have an audience for this stuff. It's great.
Yeah, it is really cool.
Love you
Have a
guys.
wonderful evening.
Have a good
everybody.
night.